Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight we're going to be playing Kayo. Kayo and Azalea are the two decks that are leading the charge for me for Nationals, so we're going to be doing some Kayo testing. If you're a subscriber on Twitch or a member on YouTube and you didn't get to vote in the Discord, I apologize for that. I know that normally we run a poll on Thursday stream and like, you know what I'm going to be playing, but Nationals is right around the corner, and next week I'm completely gone for work. So I'm looking to get some extra testing in tonight, so I apologize for that, but I'm hoping that we're gonna get some good KO testing in tonight. I was able to play a few games today offline to, like, you know, just to kind of, I'm not gonna say get a feel for KO because I played KO before and I really like KO, but more like, you know, to get more comfortable with him and to get back into the rhythm of playing like an aggro aggressive hero. So I am also, my chair is all over the place right now. I can't get it to sit where I want to, which is frustrating. But anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping that KO testing goes well tonight. I'm pretty excited about it. KO is probably slowly edging out Azalea, just as being my #1 pick for what I'm looking at playing for Nationals. But let's jump in and play some games. Glad to have this to listen to on my drive home. Dude, Solace, thanks for coming by and hanging out, man. I appreciate you listening. Nova, what's up? How are you, buddy? All right. Let's, let's see. We're gonna play in the open CC format here. I think that's better. We're gonna go ahead and excuse me. We're gonna look from the open CC format. We have, yo, let's go, $1.99. I noticed you can donate shots of Malort here, bro. Adam. Oh my gosh, Adam, you kill me, dude. That's hilarious. Bro, thank you for that $1.99 dono, man. I really appreciate it. It means a whole bunch, brother. It means a whole bunch. We are looking at our usual suspects as far as equipment and everything here. Against new, I think we want to be on the Sash. Like, normally this could be a longer game, so maybe it's Tunic, but I think this is Sash. And so far, my answer against new has been to actually just run everything. Has been to just run 71 cards, just so they don't try to fatigue us. But I don't know how. I don't know if there's a better way to go about that. I don't know what that's looking like. So I think we're going to look at running all 71 cards, and as we play through the match, we'll see if something feels worse, or if there's something we can change, or how that feels as we go through the evening. Hey, Bim, what's up, dude? I'm good. How are you, brother? You doing all right, man? I think let's just throw the claw. I know that we're giving them a chance to filter, but looking at this hand, God knows we need a chance to filter. So I'm very thankful that we can filter this hand, because this hand is not great. We're going to arsenal the runner and try to use the Clash of Agility to set up and play a little bit of offense here. Okay, KO versus new. I am going first, and we'll see how it goes today. I'm curious to see how the games feel into new today, because I played a couple of games beforehand and they both felt very good. They both felt very clean. Interesting. So you're forgoing the Kano matchup? I don't know if I'm entirely forgoing the Kano matchup, if I'm being honest. There's probably some changes that might get made to that as more time goes on. I am not entirely sold on my sideboard and how I have that set up, if I'm just being honest, where I'm still kind of like working that out a little bit. So let's block. Blocking 8. So Venomous Bite is +4 to 5. +3 is 7. And then this is 8. So just a Nick is 5 to go to 6. And Venomous Bite is 4 is 10. So if I block like this and they don't have just a nick and a buff, Venomous Bite would require us to block with Apex here. Let's block like this and see if there is a... We can always discard... No, you know what? Let's block like this, and then we can always play the Reckless if we need to. So you should decide to either lean on Gamblers or Vambrace, but not both. So Vambrace is for Enigma, and Gamblers is for Prism. I was thinking about cutting Vambrace for the AB2 headpiece was my thought process there, as far as that's concerned. That was what I was thinking. 1 AB in the sideboard? Yeah, so it's probably going to end up being AB3 because I like having AB3 into... I'm having a stroke right now. I like having AB3 into Kano. So it's probably going to end up being AB3. Good, just had a cheeseburger? Well, that sounds pretty good. I can go for a cheeseburger right now. Sounds pretty good. Deciding to bring Enigma to Nationals, think she's just better than everything else by leaps and bounds. I mean, Mark, I think Enigma's really good. Like, I am not going to argue with your assessment there because she is insanely strong and she provides a lot of value and is able to do a lot of really dumb things. So I am definitely not going to argue with your decision that she is just... I mean, I don't know if I'd say she's leaps and bounds better than everything else, but she's very good. I do agree that she is very good and that she has a very strong place in the metagame moving forward. Vambrace hasn't felt great for me into Enigma, but maybe that's just on me. I mean, so Justin, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I think it all comes down to, like, you know, everyone's testing goes this way or that way. You know, I genuinely believe. Without base defense, if you do, they discard it and you draw a card. I mean, I can take 6 and go double swing big here. I don't know if that's correct, but I think we're going to. There's nothing that I can discard, so that's kind of cool, but we are going to go double swing big. I could have blocked with a... no. There was a world where I could have blocked with one of the swing bigs, and then I could have went swing big into claw or claw into swing big, but yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's all, you know, different testing goes different ways for different people, and it's kind of like, you know, I heard Yuki say this one time, and Yuki was like, you know, everybody says that, you know, this is good or this is good, and like this is good because of my testing, but it's like when you come to the big stage, it's like that's where it all gets tested. And so, you know, I'm not going to sit and say that Vambrace is insane or it's even needed. I do think that Vambrace puts fear into some people that I've played online, and I think that's given me like good windows to get into like a winning position. So it might just be that I'm just going to cut Vambrace and I'm just going to run Gambler's Gloves, and I'm just going to run Gambler's Gloves and Scabs into that matchup as well. This feels like a block 6, discard Agile windup, and then play Castbone's hand. Okay. We knew they had the Slither, so Codex is pretty good. We're going to see what they get back from the Codex. I mean, Surgical probably, if I had to guess. No, they get the weakest link. Interesting. Yo, Saturday with that 4 months of Prime. Dude, let's go. Thank you so much, man. There's a lot of great creators you could share that with every month. I really appreciate it. It means a whole bunch. Swing Big probably gets the most value, right? Runner has really solid potential, but Swing Big probably gets the most value consistently here. We do take 6 and go to... I really don't know why they keep throwing this card at me. Like, this card seems pretty, like, okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I definitely don't think that card's as good as they think it is into this matchup. So I will say, though, you played some new... The Heroes is one of the most fun I've had playing Flesh and Blood. I mean, new is a lot of fun, Mark. I really enjoyed playing new. I think new does a lot of very dumb things. Our miss was a Reckless Swing. That's unfortunate. 4 turns and we haven't seen a Blood Rush. Seems like pretty small odds of that being the case, but, you know, regardless. So this hand is probably just block with Assault and Battery, block with Wrecker Romp, throw this for 13. Like, not blocking the Spider Spite is, like, just kind of bad in my opinion. We could just give this up if we wanted. Like, we could block the Wrecker Romp, take 3, and then just throw the Bear Fangs for a bunch, which is not a bad play. The only concern I have is that we haven't seen a Blood Rush, and there's one more Cast Bones in the deck. I would have to give 3 pieces of equipment. Or, I'm sorry, 2 pieces of equipment. It'd have to be 2 of them.
You love to see it.
Yo, Justin, with that sub on YouTube, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, when you're here for the first time, we got 3 questions we ask everybody. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Whether you're new tonight or whether you were new 2 weeks ago and I didn't get to ask you that question, let me know in the comment. Let me know in the chat. I'd love to know more about you. Hey, what's up, Annabelle? How are you? I think we're supposed to go to 19 and just throw the Bear Fangs. It's a little aggressive, but... And, like, they can't play a Hiss. So, I don't see them...
Let's freaking go. You love to see
Yo, Nova also with the sub on YouTube. Dude, let's go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Nova, I got those 3 same questions for you. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? This card's crazy. Like, that Gorgon Tomes card or whatever it's called, that, or Gorgon's Gaze, that card's crazy. I don't know why more people aren't playing that card, to be honest. Discard a Mighty Wind Up and come in for 13. So we're currently down 9, but we are putting on a lot of pressure. We're probably going to try, if we draw into a Blood Rush, which there's no guarantee of. In fact, we know that there's 1 card we haven't seen, right? We drew 4 cards and then 1. So there's 1 card that we know is not a Blood Rush and then 3 potentials for it. Block 7, take 6, go to 19. We can try to use Scowling Fleshbag if we do draw a Blood Rush to just try to like get into the game to just start playing a lot of offense here. So trying to strip your Pulping's Wild Rides. I've seen some mirrors running it too. Oh, interesting. It's interesting to play it in the mirror. Okay, or they're going to take 2 and give us 3 cards here. Okay. I mean, if your hand lines up that defensively, then it lines up that defensively, you know? That is how it goes. It do be like that sometimes. Block Clash of Might. And I was like, unless it's just a Nick, that's the only card that like really blows us out here. But I'm not, probably not playing around like one of the best M's they have. We're just going to go, we're going to come in for 7. And we're going to set up a Might and Agility. And I mean, it's been 6 turns. 6 turns of draw steps, and we have not seen a Blood Rush. So statistically, it is coming up. Now, the problem with us running 71 cards is that like it's harder to find those because we have more cards, but spent all day at my old uni doing grad stuff for it. So it's basically, do we know where that was? Basically, do we know where that was promised? All right. I mean, my name's Victor, and the TCC Roundtable product got me into Fab. As for hot dog toppings, probably some onions and mustard. Hey, onions and mustard sound pretty good, man. I'm not a big onions man myself, but no judgment. I'm all about you being you here. That's like it's like one of my biggest things. I'm all about everybody being themselves. So, dude, well, Victor, welcome to the channel, man. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you chilling out with us tonight. What we got? Go again here. No draw card. So we have a what? I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, it's Mystic. I thought it was just Assassins, but it's Mystic cards as well. Okay. Codex make me cry. Let's just start getting value and let's play the Pulping here. Because we know there's a Pulping on top of the deck, and honestly, I want to just start clearing the way so that I can just I can dig closer and closer to getting that Blood Rush. Because when we get the Blood Rush, I'm giving my opponent a flesh bag, and we're trying to turn the game around in our favor here. Always struggle with the texture of onions, but love the flavor. Little onion jam perfection. Ooh, onion jam. That's interesting. I mean, that's fair. So, like, I think a lot of food for a lot of people is texture. Like, there's a lot of, like, texture things that people struggle with. I hear that quite a bit. I think that's, like, a pretty common thing with food for people, for sure. I don't think this hand is worth trying to flip the game yet, but we're also running out of time. Like, we're running out of real estate here, and the more damage we take, the worse off we're going to get. I love everything onion related, to be honest. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. No judgment. No judgment, especially when it comes to food. So if I block 3, I mean, I know that they just have this available to them, but... Okay. Okay, so nothing happens and they're just going to Arsenal, which is fine. And we have a Mighty Windup on top of the deck. I could throw this for 9 and then just Arsenal, but we've only seen 1 Leave No Witnesses and 1 Command and Conquer. So part of me wants to see if we can play Wild Ride. I mean, I don't know how much better our turns are going to get here. We know we have the Mighty Windup, so... If we discard the Beast Within, we could turn this into a pretty dirty hand, right? So, I mean, we'll see what happens. If we discard the Mighty Windup, part of me's incentivized to just attack for 9 and then Arsenal this and hope that they have an Arsenal Disruption piece so that we can get some value out of it. Now, I think that's a little aggressive, but we're also behind right now, so I think we need to play to us winning the game. And I think that looks like them having a Command and Conquer or an Arsenal piece, and we can use that to get value, just like this. I know that going to 6 is kind of crazy, but we might be doing it here. If I wasn't so sneaky and socially frowned upon, I could literally eat onions like they're apples. Oh, if it wasn't so sneaky and socially frowned upon, dude, that's that's hilarious, Brad. We'll just go to 6, I think. I don't know. We're getting scary low, so maybe we're supposed to give scabs. Is the agility good enough to discard here? The answer is probably right. I mean, well, probably not, actually. We discard this. We play Wild Ride, hopefully drawing into a blue and discarding this so that we hit into like something better that we can play. So if not, what does our hand look like if we don't have this? Hang on, let me tell our opponent we're thinking. I mean, yeah, we could do that and use a sash. That's not a bad idea. We're really just kind of banking that we do this. So maybe we are supposed to. So we discard this. We crack the sash. It's CNC for 7 to start off the turn. Doesn't seem bad. New interaction found. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Agility into CNC? Yeah, the agility into the CNC looks pretty solid. Wow. Aggressive. I was like, that is very aggressive for my opponent to block. But I mean, I am at 7, so if they have a hand that potentially ends the game, I like it. You live with that Risco, the high-end turns into 15 plus damage. Yeah, like our big turns are big turns. So like I think that's where a lot of like our risk kind of has to come from, is that our big turns are massive. And then we get to do this. We did not discard the Beast Within, which is unfortunate, but we are able to throw Wild Ride into the Claw here. So And yep. If they go to 2, I would be surprised. Honestly, if they go to 2, I would be surprised. Now, I think we pitched both of our Reckless Swings this game, so they're second cyclers right now, but... So you're going to give me the Tunic to stay out of range of that, which I don't think is a bad idea, but we've managed to go the whole game and we still have Scowling Fleshbag available to us, which is very good. So we're probably going to try and use that here. Good old Talishar random. Yeah, random. Dude, that's so true, Justin. That's so true, brother. New is like Warrior. Once you're at 6, they can kill you out of nowhere with Nick. Yeah, so we haven't seen any Just Nicks either, which is like kind of scary. So I'm like kind of trying to play a little safe here when it comes to everything. I kind of want to block Sin Packing and Scowling, and we don't really have an arsenal, so hope that we take their Go Again source, because they obviously have a Go Again thing they want to do. No. Okay, they're just going to activate my hero ability. This has been a good game. My opponent's played this very well so far. You sure Brute cards just don't say mill one? It is slight shoddy, but since they showed you to leave no witnesses, should you have put that Beast Within into Arsenal? Since they showed it from blocking, there is a world where I can definitely consider, like, if they throw leave no witnesses here, I can get Fleshbag and not block, and just block 2. I would have planned on going to 5, but I really would have been going to 4. The problem here is that we're going to have to block again. Oh, no, they didn't have Go Again. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Oh, that's right. He's also Justin's also right, Brad. Leave no witnesses doesn't trigger this because it banishes it. We don't get the value off of that. Justin's completely right. We do not get the value off of Beast Within from Leave No Witnesses. It's only from Command and Conquer, which is kind of funny because I was talking about maybe having the value off of a Leave No Witnesses, and I don't want that. They need to specifically have a Command and Conquer if we're going to get them with arsenaling a Beast Within. Yeah, so good call. Yeah, Leave No is not CNC. Yeah. My bad, first time Fabber here. Well, that's not true, but I get it. Like, I completely understand. Ooh, this hand does that thing where we don't block very efficiently. The good news about this hand is that we're able to block Beatdown and E-Strike and then throw Savage or Bear Fangs for hopefully 8. But at this point in the game, I would be lying if I said I don't think there's probably a Cast Bones or something on top of the deck. So I can block here, and I can block 1 and then 3, or I can block... So it's 4 either way, but I'm giving myself the potential to block something else better, probably. I don't know. KO, what is this? Yeah, Martin, I'm testing for Nationals. So I was like, we are looking at testing for Nationals. Okay. So blocking there actually saved me some points. But the problem is that we need to block with 2 cards. Blocking for 4 doesn't cut it, right? Because of this. This is a tough choice. Is it pulping? Well, our arsenal doesn't really matter, right? Like, we're not going to get to keep our arsenal. We're up 6 cards and a new because I'm running 71 cards. Block 6, then draw a discard into a 6. Draw Reckless easy. I think we pitched both of our Reckless. So that's not, like, unfortunately, that is not in the cards for us. So I think we're going to get the pulping, discard the E-Strike. This gets turned into 5 if he wants it to. So we're going to go to 3 or 2 here. I'm not a huge fan of that play, but I think it's what has to be done. And then we get to throw Bear Fangs for 8 from our hand, which is good because it means that our opponent has to give us a minimum of 2 cards here. They're back to 3, so they're probably going to try and stay at 3 because anytime they go below that, I have the ability to try and... I have the ability... Man. So, blocking 4 does not play around... How many Venomous Bites have they played? Basically none. How many Justinicks have we seen? Razor's Edge also works here. We've only seen just one Justinick, so if we block 4, we're dead to Justinick and Razor's Edge. If they have Justinick and we block 4, we're dead to Justinick at anything. So if we don't guaranteed block 2 cards here, we're dead to Justinick at anything. And I mean, statistically, it's a very likely probability that they have just a Nick here. So I'm trying to decide how many cards I want to give. I hope to meet you at Nats. Dude, if you're Martin, if you're talking to me, brother, I'd love to meet you at Nats, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to meet you at Nats. You guys just have to come say hi to me because I don't know what you guys look like. But yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, giving up... So, like, this is the easy block, right? And then this is, like, the easiest part to block here. I could also block with Blood Rush, and I would be blocking 7. I would be able to throw CNC for 7, which would be pretty solid. I mean, CNC for 7 would be a good swing back here for what we're looking at. If they have something like a Hiss and then another card, we're in bad shape. So I think I have to block like this, right? If it's just a Nick, okay. It also could have just been double Razor's Edge. I mean, I don't think we're able to give 3 cards there. I don't think we're able to give 3 cards there. I don't know what it is about when I'm live. When I'm not live, I play news and I win. When I'm not live, my win percentage against new is like 75%. And when I am live, my win percentages against new is like 25%. So I don't really understand where the correlation of breakdown is there. But I also think that like we totally lost that game because we saw 1 Blood Rush and it was, or we didn't get to play any Blood Rushes. We played 0 Blood Rushes in like a 13-turn game. And I think having a Blood Rush is the difference between winning that game and losing that game. So, but our opponent did play very well. It was a good, long, grindy game. Exactly how they wanted it to go. And we didn't see any good power cards. Like we played a Cast Bones, but we didn't see the other one either, which was weird. I don't know. That was an interesting game. Loss. Did not see any BRB in a 12-turn game and lost a close one. All right, starting off with an L. Boo. It's okay though. It's okay though. We're gonna rally. We're gonna rally. Oh, while we're talking about it, actually, before I do that, let's make the change to my list here. So I'm gonna go into my KO list. It's over on my other monitor. I'm not gonna bother to pull it over. I'm going to cut Van Brace because I don't think it's necessary when you have Gambler's Gloves in that matchup as well. And then I'm going to add in Skull something. I can't remember what it's called. Skullhorn? Yep, we're going to add that so that we have AB3. Moving forward, I think having AB3 is a very positive addition to the deck. I don't think there's going to be a lot of Kano at Nationals, if I'm being honest. I think that was my original thought process, is that I don't need it, but I also think it's just beneficial for me to have it just in case. You only run 2 Cast Bones? Yes, I am a firm believer that 3 Cast Bones is too many in the deck, honestly. Prove it, show the fab stats, lol. I don't even... Is there a way for me to show, like, stats or something? Hey, Cusco, what's up, dude? How are you? Stream sniping? That's why we lose? I mean, listen, I would love to just chalk it up to stream sniping, but I don't quite think it's because people are stream sniping me, but I would be open to thinking that. I don't know that stream sniping is really a thing in this game. It hasn't felt like one so far anyway, at least from what I've noticed anyway. Warm-up game? That's right. Absolutely. Man, it's funny. We were just talking about this matchup, how I said I didn't really think it was going to be a thing. But here we are. So we have 60 cards that are just pure aggression. I am cutting the cast bones, and we're going to bring in the yellow wild rides because I think this matchup is all about as much raw aggression as we can have. We'll cut a reckless, and we'll play one because I think it's good to have it for the blue count. So we'll leave in one reckless for the blue count and just run 60 cards here. So let's activate Agile Windup. And let's pass. I think we'll activate Agile Windup's ability and then we'll just pass. I think I'm okay with just passing and letting them kind of play from here. Problem with bringing in 70 cards is diluting your chances to get BRB. 100%, Justin. And I haven't seen a lot of news playing Fatigue into me as KO, so maybe there's like maybe we change some of the game plan there so that I can try to have a little bit of a different game plan going into the matchup. Or again, like into that matchup specifically. Not a bad idea. Just got home from a long day at work, so I'm chilling. Dude, I get that. It's been a long week at work for me. I'm very excited for the weekend. Give 2 E-Strikes card. Give 2 cards E-Strike for 6 draw card. Gabriel, I'm curious if you might be behind on the stream right now. If you might not be live on the stream as we're sitting right now. I think Kanos are going to do what they did in Battle Hardened Richmond and just say YOLO because they figured out a decent play into Enigma. I mean, that's fair, Wally. I think that's fair. That makes sense. I could see that. Kanos will still be a thing. Enigma is mid. So the one unwinnable match probably won't be played that much. Enigma is mid. I do have to very strongly disagree with you there. I think that if you think Enigma's mid, then you haven't really played Enigma or played against a good Enigma player. I think Enigma is very strong, and she does a lot of very powerful things. I would be curious to know more about what you mean by Enigma is mid there, Annabelle, because that's I don't know. Curious if running more than 60 is correct for KO, even against new, simply because of the dilution. It might not be, Brad. It's very possible that I'm not supposed to run that many cards. I definitely, not going to sit here and say that me running 71 cards is correct. I think that we've lived in an assassin world for so long where the game plan for all of these decks has just been fatigue them. And so my head, I'm trying to stay away from getting fatigued. When in all reality, I need to be thinking about trying to run them over a little bit more. Because with Claw, you have a tougher time getting fatigued anyway. Yo, Kalavi? I hope I said that right. Kalavi, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you being here. We got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're here for the first time. What's your name? Why got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Live in a part of the world where hot dog toppings aren't really a thing. Tell me a different kind of food you like to eat. I like to get to learn a little bit about you myself. So let's lean on Bear Fang since we have the agility. Hopefully we discard the Beast Within. We discard our blue. Big Sag. Big Sag, indeed. They take 9. It's 8 or Claw here. With a Potion of Deja Vu, they probably can combo us, right?
Freaking go. You love to see it.
Yo, Lurzer, thank you for that follow on Twitch. Appreciate it very much. I got those 3 same questions for you, brother. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Let's leave the illusion that we have things we can play. I missed a message here. Why do we run Sash into New, which can go to Fatigue, and Tunic into Kano when we need to rush them down? So I run Tunic into Kano because there's actually quite a few yellows in the deck, Solace, and I think that we need the extra resource that can possibly come up in a very relevant hand. But it's very possible it's wrong to run the Sash into into new. I was just debating that before the game, whether I thought that was correct or not, and I truly don't know if that's correct. So, good question, and I'm not sure if that's the correct way. Is Victor completely off the table for Nat? So, Kafrika, unless somebody genuinely presents me with a way to, like, unless somebody is like, Victor is reliably good and into the meta, here's why, I'm not even considering playing the deck for Nationals, because I think it's that bad into the current metagame right now. Now, I do have to say, the Card Guys posted a video earlier today, and it was Ed Knight. He's streaming Victor tonight, and it says, Guardian's dead with a question mark, LOL. Like, so I don't know, maybe Ed Knight's figured something out. Ed Knight's a very good Guardian player. I will say I did see that, I did see Kel McCreath post on Twitter either today or yesterday that Guardian's dead. And let me tell you, if there's anybody who could make Guardian work, it is Kel McCreath. He's probably the best Guardian player in the world. If not, I would put Ed Knight up there as well. Hey, Mello, what's up, dude? All 3 Misspell heroes are very strong. It has been a long time since the set was released where all of the heroes were strong. Probably since Tales of Aria? You mean probably since, like, the second to last Talented set? So all 3 heroes from Uprising were definitely not at the top of the list at that point in time. That's for sure. That is for sure. Like Fi was pretty popular opening weekend, I think. Kanos always have it. They're just gonna Yu-Gi-Oh you. I mean, hey, it could happen, right? Vincent meta incoming, no Enigma. I would honestly love to see more Vincent in the meta. I've been waiting for Vincent to make a splash in the metagame for a minute now. So my opponent's going to activate Kano and then let Kano resolve. And then we're going to use the Kindle to draw a card and have the +1. I think Kindle has really enabled some cool combos for this Kano deck. And I think Kindle's going to be a staple. 3 talented sets. The 3 talented sets have been Tales of Aria, Uprising, and now Part to Mistvale. I'm pretty sure those are only 3 talented sets, right? I'm pretty sure they are. Doesn't it go Dusk Till Dawn, Uprising, and Tales of Aria? So Dusk Till Dawn is technically a talented set, but like Dusk Till Dawn wasn't like a draftable set, right? Like it was an expansion set or whatever they're called. Like I don't know what those are technically called, but that's my reasoning for not being a huge fan of Dusk Till Dawn and like adding it to the list of things that are technically, talented sets. So I had Predatory Assault in my early KO decks, but there wasn't really sure who to run it against. So Conrava, I hope I said that right. I'm really hoping to like try and figure out when I want Predatory Assault. I think Predatory Assault will be good against anything that you struggle to close the game out against. Decks like Teklovossin are up there. Not that I'm seeing a lot of play in the metagame. I do think it has a spot against new, as Dominate's very important. So I think there's a few places in the metagame that we're gonna see Predatory Assault have a decent matchup moving forward. Monarch tells... Oh, Monarch said I was forgetting about. Thank you, guys. I completely forgot about that. If I had Stubby to start and was playing OTK Fi till Stubby was banned, he was so popular in release when they just needed to be worked out first. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's, like, I think a very accurate representation of what happened. So we're going to put Tunic on the stack, and I don't think we're dead, but we might be. I haven't fully counted. So we take 6, Sap deals 7. We go to 23, and 7 and 6 is 13, plus 6 is 19. And we go down to 4. We put our opponent to 3, and then it's kind of like a race to the finish next turn. I have to try and keep AB3 in my hand if I'm at all able to, which it does not appear is the case. So I can throw 6, intimidate a card. I can throw 8 and force their hand. I mean, maybe I'm just supposed to throw 7 here. We can just throw 7 and keep some AB here. I guess it's AB3 versus AB2, or maybe I'm supposed to throw the swing big. I truly don't know what's correct in this situation. Not having a blue here makes me feel very uncomfortable about the entire hand. It's really weird because after we cut a blue, there's still 21 blues in the deck, or I guess it's E-strike for 8, which is fine. We're going to Arsenal the swing big. Do I want to play the Blood Rush? So we have to think about whether I want to play the Blood Rush or not, right? Like, that's like one of the big questions we're going to ask here. Yo, Trent, what's up, dude? Roll Scabs? Ooh, I don't know about that, Cusco. I don't know about rolling Scabs right there. E-strike for 7, and we have AB3. Okay, so Thor and I were on the same page there. How are you, Trent? You doing all right tonight? If I play this, I have 2 floating, and I have 1 card in hand. I could pitch the Blood Rush to play Wild Ride and still have AB3. I think that is more correct. Well, hopefully we don't discard our only blue. That would be like a real feels bad here. But I think this is the correct play. Because if they're going to go for it, we have AB3 and then we have AB1, which could potentially save us in this situation. It really depends on like what they have and what their hand looks like. I think you just throw Pulping. I mean, so I guess it's technically better to throw the Pulping, right? That is technically just a better play. And then they still have to decide how they want to go about this because we're keeping AB5 in hand. So yeah, good call. That makes a lot more sense. It forces him to make the play. I was not considering playing the Pulping. I don't know why in my head like that wasn't an option. But that is definitely a better play. Good call. Good catch. Yeah, no, you guys are 100% right. And I wonder why my win rate's so bad when I'm live. Haha, got him. It's me. Self-burn. Those are rare. So Toma Fandle and I assume gaze the ages. No, he wants to draw 2 blues before he lets something vanish. That makes a lot of sense. Drawing of the 2 blues gives him potential to possibly make something happen here. Hey, Zechariah, what's up, dude? Sorry, I missed your message there. Sorry, if you guys have joined and said something and I didn't see it, I'm sorry, guys. It was like the chat's moving kind of fast and I'm trying to focus after throwing game 1. So, of course, it appears my focusing's not going very far. Wow. Are you serious? Did we just tome into 2 blues and then flip blind? Wow. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, like, we made the correct... I ended up undoing and making the correct play, and then, like, my opponent literally just flipped Wildfire and Blazing Ether. So, this is going to be for 6. Oh, 7. So I'm actually just dead. Man, wow. That is extremely unfortunate for us. This is why we hate Kano. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, that is very unfortunate for me that, you know, they happen to flip Wildfire like that, but I still live in a world. Oh, can you play new in Classic Constructed now? Are we done playing in the open format? Can we just play in regular CC now? But I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a feels bad, but I do not run Oasis in my list. There are 0 copies of Oasis in the list. I don't think Kano is going to be potent enough at Nationals for me to be that concerned about it. I could be wrong. I don't know. KO versus Kano. We went first. We lost. Had lethal on the stack with a blue and a yellow in hand. Opponent blind flipped Wildfire. Oh, can't spell. Wildfire and Blazing Ether to kill me. Now, because they had the because they had the Kindle, they actually only needed the wildfire there. They needed something that did 4. Yeah, Kindle was very good that game. Like, we saw a lot of value from the Kindle there. I think we want to go second here, right? Like, we want to set up. So let's try it this time around. Let's try a little bit of a different sideboard here. So we ran 71 last time, which might not be correct. It really depends on like how they play this matchup. Like, I think Clash of Agility, Clash of Might, and Predatory Assault are all good cards here. Like, if you're not running Predatory Assault in this matchup, I don't know what you want it for. Being able to dominate past at the end game is very solid. And Wild Ride, I mean, maybe we're just not supposed to play the beatdowns because they're tough to play. So, and maybe we cut the cast bones here. I don't know. Is the inventory too tight to run AB equipment just in case? When you say AB, I'm not sure what you mean, because we had AB3 right there, pockets. No Spell Fray. I've not really considered Spell Fray, but we could look at running Spell Fray. It's not a bad idea. I'm no longer running Oasis cause of Imperial Edict, so it doesn't matter. So I think Oasis has gotten worse than to Kano in general. I also agree with that. Okay, so this is, Justin just said this is a cut Sin Packing matchup. So we cut Sin Packing. I don't think we want to cut Pulpings or runners. Let's run 66. I think this is okay. We'll run 66, and then I'm going to try sashing in to see how it feels. Because I am convinced that Sash is good in this matchup because we want the extra block. There's a lot of times that I want to block with things they're doing. And so I think Sash is better than Tunic, even though technically this could be a longer game for us. That's why I don't feel bad steamrolling a Kano. Dude, nobody ever feels bad steamrolling a Kano. And they shouldn't. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Kano is a very, like, you know, haha, gotcha kind of hero to play against. So, like, it can be very frustrating. And I completely, like, understand that and sympathize with that. Maybe I'm supposed to take this one, but I don't know. Like, both of their daggers have very, like, powerful effects on turn 0 that I'm not, like, I would much rather block if at all possible. The Wild Ride does not play well with the cast bones in our hand, so part of me thinks I'm supposed to give up that. And then I can try to go Wild Ride into something else, but also the cast bones is very strong and opens very cleanly for us here, so it's tough. Reinar has a better matchup in a Kano. That's true. As Reinar, you do have a better matchup here. Let's block with the cast bones. I think that's the correct play. I've temporarily cut Sin Packing from my list completely. Ooh, what did you replace it with, Justin? You have my attention, sir. Oh, I thought you weren't running AB equipment. I have you on audio only while working. Oh, dude, no worries, Pockets. No worries at all. Yeah, we were definitely, we're going to try and save life here. Definitely running AB3 into that matchup for sure. I mean, I hate giving them the life there, but I think it's better than us, you know, like losing. I think it's better than us losing 3 there. So Pitch Edge will wind up to play Wild Ride, and then if we keep the blue, if we discard a 6 off the top of the deck, we get to go Claw into Clash, into Agility. So I think we're going to lead on the Wild Ride and see what we end up getting to keep here. Okay, I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, this isn't ideal by any means, but this is okay. So we get to go Claw into the Rough Shot here because we have discarded the Clash of Agility. So I would have much rather have discarded the Riled Up or the Rough Shot here, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that. We could have also have just went the Riled Up for 6, but this is more points this way, so I'm more interested in trying to throw this, because when we can use our blues to play offense, this is a step towards winning this matchup. Roughshod Clutch, yeah, Roughshod's actually, like, this card's really good. It's funny because I'm actually a really big fan of banishing this card against new. Like when they activate their mask or whenever they activate their ability and they banish this card, I'm like so happy to see that because it's very hard for them to turn it on. Although I will notice that my opponent is playing Flick Knives. They are playing the combo against me, which I think is correct. I mean, I don't know. Like, like Annabelle, how do you feel about that? Like, are you still on the combo 1 and 2? Do you think combo's good into KO? Because I know that when I was playing New, the couple of times we played combo into KO, and it was like, it was very good. Hey, Pitch Deck, what's up? How are you, buddy? 0-2 was not the start we were hoping for, but I mean, it is what it is. And guys, I appreciate y'all being here. I was like, appreciate y'all hanging out with me. This will be the last, like, oh, my opponent said they're thinking. I'm gonna say no problem. This will be like the last night for like a full stream for me this week. Carly and I are gonna stream. We're gonna open my case on Saturday. We're gonna do that live. And then we're probably going to play some Fortnite afterwards and stream that live. But this will be the last night that I have like the full, I have the full like 3 hours for Flesh and Blood that's going on. And then on Sunday, I leave to go out of town next week for work. So I'm gone all week next week. But while I'm out of town, I have a small surprise for you guys that I think is going to be pretty cool. I don't really want to say what it is because it involves other people, and I don't know if they've been like public with this information yet, so I'm like leaving it on the low. And then when I get back on Thursday night, I have an even, like, I'm not gonna say even better, but I have another surprise for you guys. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming in. You can win without it. I've learned the matchup. Okay, so you're not on the combo now that you've learned you can win without it. That's fair. Friend of mine got his case today and opened a gold pack. Oh, I want a gold pack so bad. Sorry, I know that I'm like out of left field here, but I want a gold pack so bad. I think this is one we need to block, right? Like, this is probably one we need to block. Just block like this, because I think letting them banish 4 cards off the top of my deck immediately tells them that they have like the... I thought I had an agility. Sorry, we're definitely going to block differently. I thought I had an agility for some reason. Like, this was looking really good to me. That was, yeah. Zach is going to meet up with Scowling Fleshbag IRL and kiss him while he's in his Reinhardt cosplay. Bro, that is a wild guess. Wild guess. I always forget to check the Twitch for you. Are you talking about when we're like, when you say YouTube or Twitch, do you mean like where I'm streaming on Saturday with Carly? That'll be on YouTube and Twitch if that's what you mean. I think I want to block like this. I think this is a better block. I'm going to throw Command and Conquer for 7, and then we're going to Arsenal the swing big here. CNC for 7 forces probably 2 cards from hand and then the stilettos, which is kind of nice because we're like taking some equipment from them pretty early, and we're going to set up a pretty decent power card. So if we draw a Blood Rush, we're in a good spot here. At one of my pre-releases, there was a golden pack. We gave it randomly, and I was 1 number off from getting it. Oh, dude, that's crazy. Dude, Liam, that would have been awesome to win it that way. Second Cycle has already been talking about it for 2 weeks. Okay, they have. Okay, so if they've been talking about it, then I won't. Then I'll go ahead and spoil it. So on Sunday, Robert and Chris have invited me. They're from Wisconsin, that area, and that's where I'm going for work. They have invited me to be on their stream on Sunday afternoon. So we're doing like a Sunday stream, and I'm going to be on their. I'm going to be on their stream. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be pretty cool and a lot of fun. They have some pretty cool things worked up, so I think it's pretty sweet. Wild because it's true? No, it is not true. I would have to go all the way to the UK just to meet Simon, much less drive there to kiss him. So, yeah, this Sunday, I'm going to be hanging out with Robert and them when I get into Wisconsin. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is an interesting hand. I kind of just want to play the Reckless and see what happens. We could also just say no blocks and keep our hand here. It really depends on what they have here. Our pre-release did the same thing with the gold pack, and it was the Marvel. Oh, it was the Marvel? Dude, that's awesome. That's really cool. So I can kiss Robert instead? Trent just wants me to kiss somebody. Oh, man. Classic Trent. So let's go Reckless. I think this is okay. If they have a buff to push over the top, then they have a buff. That is okay. I would like to make this play because I think it is. I still think this is a good play. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to go to 36. Lose the Bear Fangs in the swing big. And then we're going to play the Pulping and try to push some damage and set up a Might for the following turn. We discarded a yellow Wild Ride. You're not sold on yellow Wild Rides? Tell me about that, because I could be talking and changing that slot for sure. Drew said he can kiss me. I'll take the L for the homies. Dude, Drew, always a team player, brother. Always a team player. Start the stream by threatening to rizz him up. Intimidation factor. Trent, just for you, man. Just for you. Robert and Chris are getting rizzed up. I mean, yeah, they are big cards to discard. But I think it's okay. Like, are you talking about these two? Like the swing big going away and the Bear Fangs off the top is pretty unfortunate. It makes me feel a little bit better knowing that we were pretty much just gonna discard it regardless. We also they haven't hit a blue that they can play yet, which is pretty good for us, I think. So not an L, absolute W. Oh, let's go Mellow with that big hydrate. Let's go. So yeah, so Sunday I'm gonna be on Chris and Robert's channel, Second Cycle on YouTube. So if you guys want to be a part of that, I'd love for you guys to be there. Also, Robert and Chris make great content, so if you guys are just interested in supporting other creators that do really good content, I would definitely reach out to them because they do great stuff. Like I would follow them, subscribe, whatever it is that I subscribe on YouTube. They make really good content, and so being a part of their channel is good. I just realized I hit 6 months. Yeah, dude. You've been big supporting for a while, man. I really appreciate it, Trent. That means a whole bunch, man. It means a whole lot, brother. Hamilton is using yellow Bear Fangs over yellow Wild Rides, but I think it can be either or. Ooh, why yellow? So why would you play yellow Bear Fangs? I guess because it's a 2 for 7 as opposed to a 2 for 5 with Go Again. It's probably the rationale there if I had to guess. We give Scabs here. I mean, I like our hand. Our hand's good and applies pressure, so I think we have to just do what we do. Hamilton also swears Cast Bones is a bad card, so it's literally to each their own. Swears that it's a bad card, huh? That's intriguing to me. We get a Pox. Oh, and the Codex. All right, the Codex is bad. The Codex is bad. I mean, I guess it's really not that bad, right? We just get to replace the Pulping in our hand with one in our arsenal is pretty much what this turns into. I like the yellow Wild Ride. Enigma screams to me that you want as much unconditional Go Again as possible. So, I mean, Quinn, it is kind of like conditional Go Again, right? But I do agree with you that you do want as much Go Again as possible against Enigma, for sure. For sure. Yo, let's go, Zechariah with the 500 bits. Dude, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, brother. That means a whole bunch, man. Thank you. So let's go Pulping. I still think that's correct. We'll discard the Pulping. And then leave no witnesses. We get to block with Roughshod. And here, there's no buffs that I'm like missing here. Yeah, this seems fine to me. I think this is okay. We tried to keep a more explosive hand here to try to get on the front foot, but my opponent ended up having a pretty good hand. Now we get to throw Command and Conquer for 7 again, but this time they don't have a piece of equipment to bail them out, so they're forced to make a more intricate, like a more interesting decision here. The Wolfpack players think it's a tempo negative card, so they haven't been playing it since before PT. I mean, so it's weird because, like, depending on how you look at that card, it is. And there are a lot of matchups where I actually take Cast Bones out of the deck because it is a tempo negative card. I mean, obviously, like, Cast Bones is the best thing in the world when you can, like, throw a CNC with an agility token from the turn beforehand and then like end on a Cast Bones, but that's not always possible, right? So I don't know, like it is tempo negative to, like, in a certain sense, but it's also like a card that you're taking a little bit of negative tempo to be able to have a massively powerful offensive turn, right? I mean, we can just lose the pulping here, right? So to clear my arsenal, I'd have to take a chance that I'm not discarding this off the pulping, which I think is a pretty rough place to be in. So probably what I'm looking at doing is just taking 6, going to 22, and just trying to play a lot of offense here. I could give Wrecker Romp and the Assault and Battery to block 6, and then I could just E-Strike for 7 to keep this in my deck, which is not bad, but I think we need to have an offensive turn here. You do. Honestly, Trent, you do. You do have to throw like a truck at them to like keep tempo going. I actually am very inclined to agree with that statement. You have to play a lot of very strong, very powerful offense to make it worth it. So, hang on, let's think about this for a second. Tell our opponent we're thinking here. So, Claw, Wild Ride have 1 floating and then no cards in hand. I could alternatively start with the Wild Ride. We could crack Sash to throw Wild Ride here to see what we find. We could also just throw Wild Ride, right? What is the name of the playmat artwork? It's the Command and Conquer artwork on the playmat, on both of the playmats here. Enigma is the only reason I'm going back and forth on it. It's the only reason you're going back and forth on Yellow Wild Ride, you mean? So we could crack Sash and just try to have like a really strong turn here. I think we need a strong turn, and this is the part of the game where we need to try and flip the game. So I'm going to lead on Wild Ride, which I think is the best thing I can be doing. Okay, this is great. So cracking Sash, immediately rewarded for cracking Sash, because now we get to go Claw for 5 and then hopefully Bare Fangs for 10. Discarding, I think I would have, well, no, we can keep this for a second cycle, which is very valuable. So this is a really good turn. Why my opponent's deciding, while they're deciding how to block, we got a big Hydrate for Mellow. Oh, I've seen people playing this card lately. I don't know, that card's interesting to me. The additional go again is strong there, but you can do it without it in most other cases. So I don't think you need Yellow Wild Ride to win that matchup, right? Like, I think that's already a pretty favored matchup. Excuse me, at least from what I'm getting the sense of. So I don't know that you need it, but it definitely helps, right? And I think that's kind of what you were trying to say, Justin. And if that's the case, I do agree with you. Why not block Wrecker Romp plus equipment? Pulping is valuable if they're off Arsenal. Because I would have had to have given Wrecker Romp and then Bonebreaker plus Fleshbag. And there's a lot of situations where I actually think that Fleshbag can bail me out. It's kind of like a get out of jail free card situationally sometimes. And I think I would rather keep it for having the get out of jail free card here. If I had a counter left on Scab Skins I could have used, we definitely would have just went Wrecker Romp, Apex, and Scabs to get the value, and then kept my hand and the pulping here. Rowdy Locals is a good card. I really like the good blue cards that they add to the game. I think it makes the game a lot more consistent, and I think that's one of the things that they're really going for. They just pass. We don't really have any go again or anything. This card blocked 3. Yeah, it's a 0 for 2 that blocks 3. It's awesome. I mean, we're up 11. We could try to roll, right? So I'm pretty sure that, like, looking at the game as a whole, this is like the one situation where we like kind of have to roll. We could also just throw the Beast Within and then like throw this for 7 and Arsenal the Predatory Assault. I don't know. Like, I think this is a gambling hand, right? Love good blue cards? Yeah, absolutely. Especially you, Ron, our boy. Yeah, Zechariah immediately says gamble. I think this is a gambling hand. And we're just going to hope to roll well. So we roll a 3. How many Command and Conquers have they played? 1? They've only played 1 Command and Conquer. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to throw this for 7. Actually, hang on. I could throw this for 6. Keep this in my hand. No, let's throw this for 7. And there's no dominate here, so it's just kind of a 2 for 7, which is like, you know, pretty okay. I mean, it's technically above rate at 2 for 7, but it's a 2 for 6 and it's a 2 for 7 because of KO's ability. But that's like game theory in general. And I think we might try to get our opponent by arsenaling the beast within here. It's a little bit of a cute play to make, but sometimes I think that people get very excited about Arsenal Disruption and their hands, like their eyes kind of go like tunnel vision. And I can say that as a Guardian player because I have made that mistake before. I have kept hands thinking, oh man, like I have Command and Conquer Pummel. This is my hand to get back into it. And to be fair, Command and Conquer Pummel is like one of the strongest things you can do in the game, in my opinion. But I think this is like a prime example of like a good time to Arsenal Beast within here. I do like tricks he plays. Arsenal Beast within no matter what. So Trent's on the same page that I am here. He also thinks the same thing. No D-React. They just go to 7, so they like their hand. And then we still have the Flesh Bag. Savage Sash blocked for 2 and then gave us the ability to actually throw an extra 8 points at the end of a chain. I'm going to say 8 because you can't say that it gave you the chance to throw an extra 10 cards and then say that Blood Rush Bellow was a 1 for 6 that turn. Like math doesn't work that way. You're counting math in 2 spots, and I think that's like just viably incorrect. So there are two schools of thought here, right? We're going to get Flesh Bag regardless. So if we get, well, there's 3 schools of thought, I guess. So I'm going to tell my opponent we're thinking here. So if we give Riled Up, Bonebreaker, and Flesh Bag, we play around them having a 1 for 3 buff here. This does not get buffed by Just a Nick, so that's okay. Venomous Bite is the one card that really like is a 1 for 4, which scares me. So that card is something to be aware of. I mean, I guess they did just block with a CNC. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, we're still arsenaling this card though. So I can get Flesh Bag, Bonebreaker, and Riled Up to play around a 1 for 3, and I do not get a Might, but I do get to play around everything, and Flesh Bag gives me a lot of value. I can give the Flesh Bag and Bonebreaker and hope they don't really have anything crazy and just try to use this hand to like try it in the game because this hand is actually crazy good. I think that's the play I want to make because this hand is kind of nuts. Just don't let them leave no witnesses. I mean, yeah, leave no witnesses is like the one exception to like the rule here. It does have to be a Command and Conquer. And it's very possible that, you know, their arsenal is like another Command and Conquer or leave no witnesses, and they're looking to... Okay, so we're going to banish a Wild Ride, I think, because we don't have any blues they can play, and I want to keep it that way. Hey, Brim, what's up, dude? Yeah, Captain, letting them like get this with a we did leave the shields down for a we did leave the shields down quite a bit for a leave no witnesses if they do use the stilettos to give this go again. Flesh Bag hopefully did not take the chi. I kind of hope that they use the chi here. I mean, yeah, them having the double transcend, like, or I guess, like, we don't want to take a chi. We want them to have 2 chis left, right? Because they have 2 chis in hand. 2 of the 3 cards are chis, which is exactly what we want. So if they have the 2 chis, they're going to go activate Mask, activate New. And then we're going to give them a Wild Ride. So either way, they have a chi to activate a minimum Mask, which I think is what he'll do, considering it doesn't really look like he has go again here. My opponent could activate New and then pitch to give Stilettos. Siren's Call. Okay, so we took a chi, which means they don't want to arsenal it, which is awesome for us, right? That's great. I love cheese, dude. Brim gets it. I'm a big fan of cheese. So I honestly, I laugh and I tell people I get that from my mom. Like, and I know that's like a weird thing to say, like that you get a love of cheese from your mom. But my mom and I used to eat cheese cubes out of a bag when I was a kid late at night. Like when it would get late, my mom and I used to do that. So it's like a fun memory that I have of like hanging out with my mom as a kid. So they get the draw card and it doesn't really do anything here. How many banished blues? Literally just the Assault and Battery. That's all that we have banished here. They'd have to have Bite in Arsenal and a blue, not get intimidated from hand. So, I mean, yeah, that's why I think that blocking with the Riled Up was ultimately a wrong decision, but it still would have been like a powerful one, right? Like if I think that blocking with the Riled Up was too aggressive of a play. Oh, discard the Beast Within. Wow, you love to see it. You love to see it. Oh my gosh, the value. Num 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 num. We love to see it, man. That's so crazy good right there. Give me your cards. Trent said, yo, planned. That's right. Never didn't have it, boy. So we're going to throw Claw for 3. And then we're going to throw the other Wild Ride here. Actually, I could just pitch this Wild Ride to throw the Beast Within and clear up any Arsenal disruption they have. Yeah, one is Chi. One of the cards in their hand is Chi, which means we might just be able to end the game. Hidden camera over here. Hidden camera over there. I don't think we can end the game, right? They'd have to have another no block in their hand. Ooh. The Inertia Trap does actually not do anything. Now, the next question is, it's better to keep the Wild Ride in our deck, right? Like, this is just technically a better play. Because we get to keep the Wild Ride in our deck for second cycle, and we would rather have more go again cards when the game gets late and we need to be applying pressure because we already have them very low. Oh, they do have multiple no blocks in their hand. You love to see it. You love to see it. Block Cast Bones. Venomous Bite is the one card that punishes me here, and that doesn't matter. So I'm going to block Cast Bones, and then I'm going to go Predatory Assault, Arsenal the Runner, looking for an Agile windup here to set up here. Oh, I thought the Arsenal was Bear Fangs? I would have loved to have had a Bear Fangs in Arsenal. That would have been great. So he plays Stir the Pot, activates Stiletto, okay. Plays the Slither from the... that he gets from the Stilettos. Banishes nothing of value here. Activates New. I mean, if you want to throw the Assault and Battery at me, Chief, you have at it, buddy. I mean, so if I block with Bonebreaker here, I'm blocking 1 to block 2. I still think I'm okay going to 20 and then taking 6 and going to 14 to be able to throw 7 at them, which forces minimum 2 cards, card and defense reaction, or it's 2 cards and Flick Knives, like worst case scenario. And we're still at 14 points, so I think that we're still in a very positive position right here. We could Arsenal the Runner if we wanted to, because that gives us a better chance. Or I'm sorry, we could Arsenal the Predatory Assault and throw the Runner and have a better chance at trying to end the game with Dominate. But I think we're better off Arsenaling the Runner because I would like to... The Runner has a very high upside for us to string agilities together, and I think that's very important for us. Inertia Trap. Oh, big Sag. All right, well, we're not going to get to Arsenal anything, but that's okay. We did take 2 cards and their Flick Knives away, so... All right, well, I was like, we're just, like, not blocking here, pretty much. I mean, give this, and then just play our hand. I hope I don't poop my pants at Nats. I mean, Drew, I also hope you don't poop your pants at Nats, but, you know, if it does, it's okay. Like, bro, what? Why did you say that? So, like, what? I'm, like, trying to keep it together over here. Oh. Trent said it sounds like a very real concern, bro. Y'all are wild. Y'all are absolutely wild. So 2 cards here. And then pulping just ends the game. Theoretically. Yep. 8 Dominite. I mean, I was like Sink Below in Arsenal. And like 3 block from hand technically puts them to 1. 10 turns, and how many blood rushes did we play that game? 2? Yeah, we played 2 blood rushes. We had 1 left, and we were up quite a bit. That is more what the normal new games have felt like so far for me. That's what they feel like. This is what the hydrates are for. We're training you, bro. I'm 2 big hydrates behind, actually. Y'all are crushing it with the big hydrates, and I love it. I'm very good at trying. I'm very good at making Zach break character. I feel like that's kind of like your shtick when I'm live, and honestly, I love it, Drew. Honestly, I love it, bro. Makes me very happy. Oh, man. I know you're not 30 yet, but it's a part of getting old, you'll see. So, in full disclosure, and, like, listen, like, this is something I've not told a lot of people except, like, close friends. A few years ago, actually, when Carly and I were, like, dating, I actually, like, shit myself one time when, like, Carly and I were getting to know each other. Carly, like, literally just came downstairs because she heard me telling the story. You did come downstairs with the perfect opportunity. But yeah, no, when Carly and I were first dating, I, like, shit myself. And the worst part is, like, I didn't know. And I sat in it for, like, 20 minutes. It was, like, it's... Okay, Carly said it was longer than 20 minutes, but it was awful. It was horrible. No farts can ever be trusted past the age of 30.
He was only 23.
They didn't need to know that. Anyway.
You're not 30 yet.
Yeah, that's literally what Brim said. He said, look, I know you're not 30 yet, but it's a part of getting old, you'll see. Talking about shitting yourself. L Riz. Dude, it's so true, though. And I cannot believe that, like, Carly did not break up with me on the spot. Like, stop talking to me after that. Because we'd only been together, like, a few months. Like, we had not been dating very long at that point in time. So it was very funny. How do you unknowingly poop yourself? So we were playing a board game called Carcassonne, thank you. We were playing a board game called Carcassonne, and we're, like, sitting around and we're hanging out, and I farted. Well, I didn't think anything about it, but I actually shit myself. And, like, I just, like, mushed it in the chair. It was awful. It was gross.
Tell them what underwear that you ruined.
What underwear did I ruin?
Your Flash underwear.
Oh, yeah, I had my Flash underwear. I'm a big superhero nerd. I had Flash, like, the Flash. I had underwear of that, and I ruined that underwear.
Superhero underwear.
Yeah, my superhero underwear. I also had Arrow underwear. What else did I have? I don't remember. Anyway, you guys got to learn a lot about me tonight, okay? That's how much I love the chat. That is how much I love the chat. Mello said the Flash underwear. Oh, no. The fact that Carly stayed with you after that just meant you had to lock her in? Bro, absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, wedding's right around the corner. I'm super pumped about that. Okay, I'm 2 big hydrates behind. I'm going to go fill up my cup with a big hydrate. I'm going to get some more water so I can be prepared. When I come back, we'll be playing more KO. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Okay, short intermission, and we're back. We got a big hydrate. We're going to start catching up here. Oh, boy. Oh, hey, it's Nick. Let's go. So let's see. Nope, wrong thing. I stole this list originally from, excuse me, my buddy Zach on the team. I was like, and I'm curious to know what he runs in this matchup. I think this makes a lot of sense. This does not seem like a Cast Bones matchup to me. So I agree with his sideboarding decisions so far. You're the only one alive. Welcome to the other side. Kayo, new. I think we went second against new and we got the win. I'm going to fill this out before we start playing here. Kayo into Kayo, and we are going first, unfortunately. I would much rather be going second here, but I think this is okay. So I will discard the Agile Windup and we'll just pass. Nick is also running Sash in this matchup, which I figured he would be. We went second into new. Okay, thank you, Mello. I appreciate it. If I poop my pants at Nats, that just means me and Zach can bond over it. I mean, hey, like, bro, dude, I'm always here to bond, especially about poop. Works for me. I am here for it, fam. I am here for it. There's no world we can Arsenal. So I think, like, there's no world we can Arsenal and, like, throw Claw and a card here. Or throw both of our cards. So I think I'm just going to pitch stack a little bit here and throw the Claw. Oh, Nick discarded the Might, too? No, we're just going to throw this. We're going to throw the Pack Hunt, take a card, and then push some damage here. We're just going to play a little bit of offense. Just push some damage and try to get on the board. Bunch of stinky fools. I keep Cast Bones in during the mirror if I go exactly first. It's just the best way to milk turn 0, in my opinion. So that makes a lot of sense, Jonathan. I can get down with that. That makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of value in being able to play Cast Bones on turn 0. Yep, I very strongly agree with that. I mean, this hand is probably block with Pack Hunt. Because we're going to have to block with something, right? Like, Nick has a very good hand here. Yo, let's go. Carly with 9 months of big support on YouTube. Thank you, baby. I really appreciate it. So maybe, yeah, let's block Pack Hunt. I think we're going to have to take some damage to really try to get into this game. I'm not interested in giving the Flesh Bag here, I don't think. We could give it to, like, stop whatever they're going to do after this. To stop whatever Nick wants to follow this up with, but hopefully it's not a CNC. That would be worst case. Man, so Nick having a really good start here. It's okay. I think we're just going to have to go to 23. This is the problem with going first in this matchup. Actually, I'm going to throw Swing Big for 9 here with Go Again because of the agility token. And then if Nick doesn't, like, give Flesh Bag or anything here, I'm definitely just going to throw the Pulping after this, I think. We all know you're secretly taking Dawnblade Bolton to Nats. Spill the secret tech. Dude, there is no secret tech. There is no secret tech. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to give the Command and Conquer there to block after he throws the Swing Big at me. I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake on my part, but there is no secret tech anymore. I'm genuinely just I'm now playing face up value what I think I'm playing at Nationals. Straight up. I kind of like that he gave me all of his equipment here. Now, again, we're still down like 9 points here, so we're not in a great spot, but did all of that to go E-Strike for 9? I mean, don't get me wrong, like, E-Strike for 9's not bad, but I kind of want to take 7 and go to 16 here and just try to like figure this and like try to see if there's a way we can get into this. I'm gonna tell Nick that we're thinking here. It's secretly Levia. I mean, dude, like, I'm considering Levia. It is on my list of things I'm considering. We're gonna talk about one of the surprises that I have next week for you guys. It's actually Levia related. It could be Azalea Mellow. I'm not sure. You need to know you've been saved this day. I tried so hard to clip you reading Drew's message out loud with no context, and my phone did not let me. Ha ha! YouTube protecting me. Yeah, you can have the whole thing if you want. Yeah, you would do whatever you want, baby. Charlie's been feeling sick, so I really hate going to 16 here, but this hand might be the gasoline that we need. I think I'm going to crack Sash here. Like, this hand might just honestly be that good. Let's lead on the pulping, I suppose. That's actually insane, right? Like, that's actually just insane. We can discard this for the ability and then play this. Man. That's weird to think about, but I think it's correct. And then, so this is 7 go again, and then Bear Fangs is for 1 billion. It was Dawnblade Olympia. We did play that. I almost have led with pulping if you were planning on playing it anyway. On pulping, are you talking about last turn? That's fair. I do think that I've made some weird plays around not playing pulping tonight. Which I don't really know like what's going through my head. Ooh, this is bad. That is not a good card to Arsenal. That is not a good card to Arsenal at all. But this is 12. I mean, if Nick takes this, he goes to 11. And we have a lot of our equipment left. So we're in a pretty good spot, I think. I am not going to Arsenal this. I do not think it's correct to Arsenal this card ever. I have a pretty like hard and fast opinion about that. It's also just wrong in every sense to crack Sash before you Blood Rush because you do not have all of the information. Like, that's one of those things that, like, I think it's very easy to get into the habit of doing, but it is technically incorrect. So, Nick just, you have a hard time convincing me that was correct. I'd have to see his hand. Nick plays a lot of brews, so I'm going to take his word for it, but that feels very aggressive. I mean, Nick lives to his name. Nick's balled on a budget, fam. He ain't scared. Nick ain't scared, that's for sure. I respect him for it. I'm sorry, what? Okay. I do not run Savage Feast, so I have considered cutting the I would like to, no, never mind. I can't block differently. It's too far gone. We've went past the step, so yeah, we went past that step. I wanted to block with the Flesh Bag and Riled up there. That was just wrong. Yeah, the bingo is interesting. The bingo is like, that's some species spiciness right there if I've ever seen it, fam. I think I'm supposed to give this up here. Because there's nothing he can do after this, and we're getting a lot of value out of our Blood Rush. Or out of our Flesh Bag. We probably stopped like another 6 to 8 points there, so this was really worth, like, I'm going to say 8 to 10 points. So this is for 7. If Nick goes to 4, I will probably throw the claw, because if he falls down to 2, we're now playing a reckless game. Yeah, it was very aggressive for him to discard or for him to roll scabs instead of discarding wind up front. I agree. I am also really intrigued to hear about his decision to play bingo. We're just gonna ability here, make a might and an agility token, and really hope that Nick does not have a blood rush here. Because we're not in a great spot to block here anymore if he does have a blood rush. Also, this hand doesn't block at all. This hand is rough. So if Nick has a very good hand, we're in a bad spot. We're in a bad spot in a bad way. Man. Command and Conquer for 8. I would like to be able to like stay at 3 or 4 and not have to like give up my Bone Breaker here. Yep. Take 5, go to 4. And then the difference in 1 and 2 is non-existent for me, so there's a consideration for me to be on 3 Clash of Agility instead. It's probably just more correct. Yeah, the difference in 1 and 2 is irrelevant here. And I literally can't block with anything, so we have to go to 1. I do not like the play of having to go to 1 here. We're really seeing a lot of the downfalls of having to go first in this matchup. Jesus Christ, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I guess at least we have a good card to Arsenal here, so there's that. I mean, we could block with Bone Breaker, but we're still at 2, right? It doesn't matter. And he's at 8, so like there's not enough life for me to like be relevant there. We'll Arsenal the Wild Ride. Okay, I have a lot of questions there. Maybe Nick wanted to Arsenal a card that doesn't work with Reckless Swing so that he can play it against me. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to throw Wild Ride, and then I'm going to pitch the Command and Conquer to throw Command and Conquer here. I mean, I agree, there's no way he doesn't. I just don't understand why he wouldn't have played it last turn. Like, it would have had to have been that his, like, hand was Cast Bones, but, like, even then, he could have just blocked with the Cast Bones, right? I mean, Nick's never really been the person to just slow roll it. Possible Reckless with a non-block, with a non-attack. I mean, but even then, the non-attack's block, right? So Reckless gets cut often. I would be surprised to see someone cut Reckless in the mirror. Justin, is that something you've ever considered doing? Just cutting Reckless in the mirror? I really don't understand. I'm very confused by what's happening here. Okay. So we want to block 6. Okay, so it wasn't Reckless? If they don't know you cut Reckless, isn't most of the value of Reckless still there? I mean, I would say that, like, the intimidation factor of Reckless is still there, but I don't think that all of the value of Reckless is still there. No, not by any means. I think that's just not true in any way. We could block with Bone Breaker to force 3 cards out of Nick's hand because he's at 1, and if we throw the Wild Ride for 8 here, So if we throw Wild Ride for 8 here, because we only have 1 mic currently, it actually gives us the ability to take 3 cards from his hand, which I like. Hey, Stolzer, what's up, dude? Stolzer, you can find the deck by hitting ! deck at any time you'd like to, or you can look in the description and you can find the link to it there. There's multiple ways to find the deck, or if you'd like and you don't feel like using those, give me just wait till I finish this game and I'll be more than happy to do that. Yep. How many 0 blocks has he used? I mean, Wild Ride. Multiple Wild Rides, and we haven't seen any pulpings from him, so I think giving up the Bonebreaker to take every card but 1 out of his hand is correct. And then short of him having the Reckless Swing, pulping wins the game right here. Yep, and we were able to close the game out. So that was interesting. I guess Nick made the decision that he had double red in hand when he arsenaled the red Wild Ride and decided that he would rather arsenal the Wild Ride as opposed to throw the Claw at me. Because Claw would have been for 4 and it would have forced the Bonebreaker. I don't know. That's an interesting decision. Like, looking back on that, I really kind of thought that, like, Nick had it and just wanted to play the game a little bit longer. But I don't know. That was an interesting game. I'd be curious to know what Nick's hand looked like when we got to where we were at right there. So we ended up getting the win. Weird game down to the wire. Got there with a Wild Ride for 8 that took 3 cards out of Nick's hand. And then the game against New in the driver's seat for a lot of the game. BRB and Sash lined up well. So getting some notes here on the games that I'm playing to make sure that we have them logged here. All right. 2-2. Some heroes need it to win it all. I don't think can win without it. Oh, there's no world that Bravo can ever win the game. If there's no world Bravo ever wins the game if they don't have dominate. I agree. Like, that's like being able to dominate the big Guardian attacks are the only reason the Guardian attacks are even good. Let's see how Zach sideboards for this matchup. So he runs 61 in this matchup. He cuts swing big. I guess Zach wants to be on as much go again as possible. Like, in what world is it ever correct to just, like, not run swing big? I don't think it's ever correct. Let's add in swing big and run 64. I do like Tunic. I do think that Tunic is correct. I mean, that's true. His hero text is dominate. Brute also can't really close a game out with it other than Reckless. I think Kayo can because there's just so much raw damage in the list, right, Trent? They block, swing big with 3 cards, and swing 2 hatchets with the Quicken and a blue. Okay, so that's why it's not in there. Duly noted. Duly noted. They're also running Dawnblade here, and I was fully expecting them to be on hatchets. You're an outcast, always under attack. I've had that Shinedown song stuck in my head. Swing bigs get cut because the Quicken token enables the hatchetlets too much. I mean, so that makes a lot more sense. Looking back on it that way, it's not something I had really considered. We're just gonna block 6 because I want to keep the runner. So now I have to ask a question. Is this worth giving up? I think so. Like, it's turn 0. We need to just be smart here. I think we just need to, like, play strategically on turn 0. We get the name draw card, right? Hang on, is that correct? So we go E-Strike, put E-Strike on the bottom for draw card, and then it's 5, go again, and then if we draw into a blue, we get to play Wild Ride and hopefully do something with a discard. If we hit a red, we're going to pitch the Beast Within to play Wild Ride and then try to arsenal something valuable. So it's probably just the best play, right? Okay. I cut Swing Big into Dash for the same reason. Ooh, interesting. All right, I'm learning a lot about Kayo tonight. I appreciate you guys answering these questions because these are things that I was not really aware of or considering, so I appreciate that. Man, that sucks. Well, I guess it's not that bad. This has go again, right? So we can just throw the claw. Yeah, we can just throw the claw. This is fine. And then if we draw a Blood Rush, I might give Fleshback here. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. E-Strike draw into E-Strike Bruff, Arsenal Wild Ride. That was a very consistent hand. There was no chances. So our hand ended up being 5 go again into 6 into 3. So technically it ended up being for 14 points versus the 12 that we wanted to do. And we actually get to make a might for next turn. So I'm not saying that my line was technically more correct based off the knowledge we had, but it did end up being better technically. We do not get the Arsenal card though, which is, I would say, a pretty big downfall of our plan here. Yellow Warrior's Valor is like really interesting. Just gonna say no blocks here. I don't think we can really let this thing get out of hand. Like, we have to be careful with how we block and win, but... we could give Windup and Bonebreaker here. I could say no blocks and really try to put on pressure. I kind of like that we get the Might token from this and force them to make a play. Now, they more than likely have something here, but... Iron Song response? No, it's out for blood. Puncture? Okay, that's just better. So this goes up to 9. We take 5, go to 28. Pulping for 8, dominate. Man... oh, man. Wish we had Tunic up. They got a reprise. I'm calling it. Yeah. I'm not saying that Yellow Warrior's Valor is bad. It's just really interesting because I've never seen that in a lot of like Dawnblade Dory lists before. So it's just surprising to see is all I meant by that. I think we're definitely supposed to Arsenal this, right? Like, this card just has too much potential value for what we're trying to accomplish. And this hand is bananas. This shit. It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This shit. It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So I could give Command and Conquer, Scabs, and this to block 7. I don't know if I really want to do that. Maybe I just want to give... I mean, we're up 10 points and we want to put on pressure, so I think this is okay. Really just depends on what we intimidated and what's left in their hand. I dropped one of my I dropped 2 of my shuffling cards. Ah! Take your medicine. Arsenal consistent go again for the next turn is probably worth more than 3 extra value on turn 1. That's fair. I do like that. Dawnblade Dory has to go aggro to a tap to the MST meta or to the Miss meta. Warrior's Valor forces the opponent to make a difficult decision. That's fair. Okay, well that was a good rip. That was a good hit for them. And then I'm not giving them another card here because our hand is just too good. So... Blade Flurry. And yeah, I mean, Blade Flurry, they did have the Blade Flurry. They just didn't have anything to go with it there. So I think we're just going to go to 21 and give them the second counter, which is tough. And we're going to hope that our hand is like insanely cracked. And it is not. But still okay. We get to throw claw for 6. And then swing big for 10. And then arsenal. The pack hunt, and we're gonna hope to hit another blood rush because I think that's really the play. Like if we hit another blood rush, we're in a decent spot, but if not, we're in a tough spot. They want to keep their hand. And then they give 3 cards and bracers here. No, they go to 9 and keep their hand. That's terrifying. Jesus. So let's think about this for a second. Is there a world where I can keep my hand? And, I mean, they probably have the Twinning Blade, right? Which means we're going to be forced to get blocked. I don't know. Let's give this, I guess, right? I mean, if we keep our hand, we're basically just trying to roll on our turn and hope that we get a hot roll. So this plays around them having 2 natural pluses here. And we're going to have to roll in our turn. I mean, we're going to have to get a little lucky, right? We're going to have to get a little lucky to win this game. So I think we're going to have to play to the out that we get insanely lucky. Needed them not to have that. So now we go to 7. I honestly hate this deck. I hate playing against Dawnblade Dory with a passion. Because you can't race it ever for any reason. Like, there's nothing that races it well. What? Did they just swing Dawnblade at me 4 times? We couldn't even stop the on-hit effect here. They just swung Dawnblade at me 4 times. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. There's like literally nothing I can do about this. Like we have to race them, right? Like there is no world this is good enough. They immediately wanted to enable the chat. I mean, they could have just said good game. That was weird. We had an AVPT of 17. My opponent just said that was a dream turn. I mean, yeah, their turn doesn't get any better. Like, yeah, 4 times. They literally just threw Dawnblade at me 4 times. I want you guys to think about this. We had an AVPT. He said, looking forward to checking out the stream later. We had an AVPT of 17.25 and lost in a 4-turn game. I said they were looking forward to checking out the stream later. I mean, I appreciate them checking out the stream. Like, that was, man, that was rough, though. It doesn't tell me what their AVPT was, but, man, like, that was nuts. Okay, so Kayo versus Dory. Dawnblade. We went first. No, we went second. We lost. Opponent swung Dawnblade 4 times in 1 turn at me. Didn't even know that was possible. Because I don't know what else to put other than get wrecked me. Because that was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. All right, well, we're gonna queue up and hope to shake that one off. Because man, I assume hers had to be like 20 or more, like pretty handily there. Hey, it's Cusco. Cusco, what's up, dude? Dude, good luck, man. Yeah, that was definitely a bad beat. That was a bad beat, Max, but that's okay. Like, it's okay. That kind of stuff happens, and it is what it is, you know? I mean, there's not much to be said about it. So, we played Sash last time, I think, and we ended up cutting the Sin Packings. Where are they? The deck felt a lot better how we sideboarded last time. We brought in Clashes, Wild Rides, and Predatory Assaults and played 66 cards, which I think felt good. So when you're playing Victor for Nats, Ed seems to be doing all right. You can see where he's at. Is Ed streaming right now, right? How is he playing on Talishar? Like, who's he playing against? Because I'm curious to know how he feels about the deck, honestly. I'd plan on going back and watching his stream tomorrow at some point to see how he felt about it. Ed's a very good Guardian player, but I really don't think Guardian's good. He's 2-0 on Talishar. I mean, we could probably be, like, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. I think we want to run Sash because they run a lot of things we want to block. Oh, he has the We Make Best sleeves? That's cool. Also, We Make Best is an awesome YouTube channel. What is this? Equipment? So he's not running the Mistblade into me, which is spicy. He's 2-0 in Talishar and he just beat a new. Yeah, what were those games against? I mean, one of them sounds like was a new, so that's kind of cool. I mean, we literally can't block this. We have 1 card in our hand that blocks, so I think we, like, quite literally just have to let it happen here. It's very unfortunate for us. We're gonna block 2. Just, man, that's unfortunate. The downfall of going second here, right? Actually, that's just wrong. They have an arsenal, so we're supposed to do this. We are all no blocks all the way here, which is really interesting. Oh, wow. What a good hit for us. That is like step 1 of us like winning this game. Last turn was 12 into 10 OVP. Still not sure about Guardian's viability. I mean, it is cool, but I am inclined to agree that I really don't know about Guardian's viability in the meta. So it's good we didn't throw that pulping. I would have been immediately punished. One of those things that I really need to start looking out for. When to play pulping and when to not. Let's play Cast Bones. And we hit all hits here. Command and Conquer, Agile Windup, Smash Instinct, Agile Windup, Bare Fangs, Riled Up. Okay. And we're going to Arsenal a Go Again card. And we drew the Command and Conquer, which is really solid. I am pretty interested in not blocking this turn and trying to absolutely abuse this hand. I mean, this hand's just too good, right? We're just going to have to force. I mean, we can block here, right? So that we can block with a bunch of equipment if we need to. I think we're just supposed to do this, right? I don't know. We're giving up a lot of equipment, and for him to just break a Rousing Wave and just like get our arsenal anyway. So maybe I'm just supposed to take 6. So let's go Riled Up, Sash, and Scabs. And we'll just throw Command and Conquer for, you know, 13. Pretty good hand all the way around, everything considered. And technically, like, this could be a... what could we play here? We can't play Roughshod. If I wanted to play the Wild Ride, I would have had to have cracked Sash here. So I could have cracked Sash to go... to actually go Command and Conquer into Wild Ride, which I don't think is correct, but... Stolzer, if you're still hanging out, did you end up finding the deck list? Like, I know you were asking about it, and I know it's in the chat. Or it's in the description, and you can find it in the chat. I just wanted to make sure that you found it. Take 8, lose your arsenal, keep 3 cards. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I really like Cusco's additions of running Scale Peeler and Spider Spite, because the mist does not feel that good to me, like the mist blade or whatever it's called. And the safest thing we can do here is block with the Flesh Bag. This is a card that I absolutely like to block. I absolutely like when they throw Bonds of Agony at me, I will give Flesh Bag in a second. Oh, I guess they can still just use both of those, so it doesn't matter. But, I mean, either way, I guess, like, I don't know. They get to pick a card and take it from our hand. I'm curious to know if they take the blue or, like, what route they go here. So I guess knowing, like, they use both pieces of equipment, which I think is okay with me, right? They just take all 3 of our Bear Fangs. Okay. I think I'm just okay with that. So we're going to lead on Wild Ride. And then we're going to throw the Predatory Assault. I was really hoping to draw into a blue so that we could go Claw into the Predatory Assault, but beggars can't be choosers. I think throwing 6 Dominate is better than throwing Claw and arsenaling the Predatory Streak here. I think we're better off just to throw it here. I think we are better off just to throw it. Guys, appreciate y'all hanging out tonight and being here. A lot of cool things y'all could be doing, especially if, like, you know, like, it sounds like the card guys are live, so I appreciate you guys being here. Let's go Clash of Might, then this. Yeah, we're just gonna go to 22. This hand's just too good, I think. I think this hand is just too good. Too good, too good. Blood Rush pitching the Agile Windup, and we discard the Wrecker Romp, which is exactly what we want to see. So I think I want to crack Sash here. That's what we got 2 monitors for, bud. Brim, I love it, dude. The efficiency of technology, right? The efficiency of technology. I know a lot of people, like, play games and then have, like, somebody up on their other monitor while they're playing games, so... This turn could be pretty good. I mean, I'm supposed to just lead on Claw, right? In case it is... We're supposed to lead on Claw here in case he has a defense reaction in Arsenal. I have almost made that mistake twice now tonight. And then we're hoping to keep the Command and Conquer so that we can have something to throw after this, but... No? And then we get to throw the Wild Ride for 8, which is awesome. This is a very good, very aggressive hand for us. We're able to put Cusco down to 7, so we now have a 15-point life lead. Was that our first Blood Rush there? It was. We have no Bear Fangs left to draw into, though. That's you, my man, whenever I'm gaming at night or I miss a stream during the day before you're on my second screen. Dude, Trent, I really appreciate that, man. It means a whole bunch, man. I really appreciate that, brother. It's a lot of fun to get to stream and, like, hang out and, you know, just kind of hang out with you guys. So I it makes me happy that you guys want to hang out with me, you know? Like, it's a whole thing. Like, because I could be playing cards in silence, you know, like that. I could just be playing cards and not, like, I could just be testing for nationals in silence and not really doing anything. And I'm glad that I am, and I'm glad that, like, I get to stream and hang out with you guys. Comfort stream at the end of the workday. See, it's fun because streaming is like comfort for me as well. Always a good hang, dude, Trent. I really appreciate that. My naps coincide with your stream. I mean, hey, Carly naps while I stream. I'm not offended. I get it. I get it, brother. We can discard the E-Strike, banish the E-Strike, I mean, and then we get to throw Command and Conquer for 7, and then make a... Oh, please no Codex here. It's probably Codex, right? God, please, just don't be a Codex. They give it go again just to clear their hand. So, CNC for 7... And then we get to discard the Agile Windup to make an Agility and a Might. Normally have you on my second screen. I tell my girlfriend I'm listening to Tennessee. I'm listening to Tennessee, man, bro. Trent said same with my wife. Oh, man. Dude, you guys are hilarious. Bro, I love that. I'm listening to Tennessee, man. Like such a... So, like, primitive caveman talk, but I love it. Yeah, Codex would have been an absolute blowout for us there because I don't remember if they had any... I don't think they had anything floating there, but, like, they could have... I mean, I guess there's not too many great cards. Like, what would they have gotten? The Art of Desire Body? I don't know. That feels kind of weak there, right? Feels like kind of lackluster. She always asks, are you watching your friend? Dude, that's awesome. I was like, it was really cool to... It was really cool to get to meet both you and Ashley when you guys came up. So that was really cool to get to hang out with you guys and get to have lunch and hang out like that. So... Oh, interesting. Huh. Alright, well this is probably just no blocks all the way, right? No, I mean, for you, just discard a beast for a free card. Oh, Codex would have been good for us there. Oh, because if they get Command and Conquer... Oh, I see what you're saying. We get to get something back, and we get to discard the Beast Within, which is actually cracked. I'm following now, Justin. I'm following. They get the Art of Desire Body, so... We're just looking for a Go Again card, right? Like, we're just looking for a Wild Ride. Wild Ride is more consistent than Pulping, so we're looking for that, and we're going to discard the Smash Instinct. I would rather keep that in my deck. And then we're going to say no blocks here. And Terran's running around like a crack cat right now. Have no interest in blocking this. Because there's always a chance they hit a blue off the top. No. Big Satch. That's okay, though. They have no cards to play off of News ability, which I'm a pretty big fan of, so I think it's okay. I think all things considered, we're in a good place. Did you see the Contract Hybrid new list that DM Armada posted? I did see that, actually. That looks really cool. That looked like a deck that I wanted to play one night just to see how it feels. Because I'm all about, like, the hybrid contract stuff. I think that's a really cool concept. So we get to go Claw for 5 into the Wild Ride because of our red situation here. Drawing into all reds is a little awkward. I could just play the Wild Ride, and so we play the Wild Ride. Even if we draw a discard into a red, we're still in a good spot, right? I guess the one concern is if we like draw and discard into something like a non-6, then my hand just kind of gets stunted and we don't have Go Again. And then it's just Claw for... This is Claw for 4. Either way, the Frailty was going to get 2 points worth of value there, which is a little sad. So we went Wild Ride for 6, and then it's Claw for 4, which technically forces another card out of their hand, or they have to give me the Mask, and I think either one is a real W for here, for us here, considering that we're at 16 still. Ooh, blocking with just a Nick. That's what we'd love to see. As they say, you love to see it. Man. It went down to 2. We'd have been in a good spot. So... This is weird because it feels like we want to block this, but do I? Like, I really don't want to give 2 cards here. This is interesting. Where's your dominate card? The only possible way you could close out the game here. Drew, shut up. I think this is no blocks because we can go E-Strike for 6, go again, and then we can throw the runner here. So I think we're supposed to say no blocks. Okay. Ooh. So they make a Chi, a Fang Strike, and the go again thing, a Slither. And then they banish 2 cards from my graveyard. This is actually like crazy good, right? He said, I'm feeling the shade from here. They're about to quad dagger you. Yeah, like this is a really good turn for them, right? They activate new. Intimidate us. You don't intimidate us. We intimidate you. All right, they're going to intimidate us. They don't take the Wrecker Romp, which is good. So we get to block like this, making the extra might token, which I'm a pretty big fan of. Yeah. We take 1, go to 14. And then riled up for 5 puts us to 9. Part of me wants to Arsenal the Reckless Swing, but part of me thinks that's like pretty reckless. No pun intended. It was funny, but that's not what I wanted there. It was definitely not the like joke I was trying to go for. I was just saying that in general. Now we have an option here. We've only seen 2 Blood Rushes. We're at 32 cards left in our deck, which means we're probably about 15 cards from pitch stack if I had to guess. Like maybe 12, which means the Blood Rush is coming up. So we could take a chance at drawing a card to like get a good card to draw here, but we could also just be in a bad spot. So I think we're better off to just throw 9 at our opponent. And they don't know we just put the Reckless on the bottom. They didn't see our hand for any reason, so they have no knowledge of when we've seen one or not. And I don't think we've pitched another one. I think we still have one coming up. So I think we're still in an okay spot here. I'm curious to see how Cusco blocks this one out. If he decides to go for all 3 cards here, or if he just decides to maybe take a little bit of damage. He could give me 2 cards in Mask, which, you know, like that would be... He could have 2 cards in the Sink Below. He could have 1 card in the Sink Below. It could be 1 card Mask in Sink Below. Have we seen any Sinks? It's like, I think, yeah, we've seen 3 Sinks, so maybe there's no more Sinks left. Maybe Cusco's not on Fate for Scenes here. Some lists, like some of the new lists have been like more defensive where they're playing Fates and Sinks, and some have been only on Sinks that I've seen, which I think is interesting. Okay. Block 8. Take 1, go to 3. I like looking for a scrap in this deck. I think it's a good card in this deck. So I need this not to be Codex. Which they have seen 0 copies of. But why would that be in Arsenal? No, we've seen 1 copy of Codex. Why would that be in Arsenal, though? I think we're supposed to take this. I think we're supposed to take the 1 and go to 11. Oh, Siren's Call? Okay, so they get to take a blue from our hand. Take the Riled Up, almost assuredly. No, take the Rough... Oh, I guess Rough Shot actually has a place in our hand to be played if we keep it. No, because we're going to pitch it. I guess it's just better late game value. And they drew into a Codex? Wow, that sucks. So we're going to get a Pulping here. This is actually fine, right? They get an Art of Desire body. We're going to get a Pulping. Discard the Wild Ride. We're going to take 3 and go to 9. Hopefully they hit a blue here. They hit a yellow, so no value for them, but this is also just going to be for 5. Sorry, we're going to ban the bot real quick. Get bannerinoed, sir. We take no bots on YouTube, on the Twitch chat here, sir. He got the dominate card. He could win the game. It is ironic because if I block with the red and the bone breaker there, he goes to 4, and then I'm kind of negating the value that I get all the way around. It's a really weird, like, circle there of, like, how that pans out for me. Throwing 8's probably just best here, right? Like, we just throw the swing big from hand. And then I can keep this for a turn when I know it's going to kill them. Probably just the best thing to do here if I had to guess. He can just block 5. I mean, I guess he can also, like, this doesn't kill him anywhere because he can block with a mask. This does, like, the pulping doesn't win the game. We love to see the Leave No Witness is gone. Makes me think he has another disruption piece here. I did not say Big Stinky. I did not say Big Stinky, although it was definitely Big Stinky. That's for sure. Because so with the Quicken, I think that Cusco's deciding to maybe like play out his turn differently. He apologized. Absolutely no apologies necessary, Cusco. I get it. Completely understand. I think this is the best thing I can give here. I really don't want to be in a spot where he hits a blue. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Make me a mod so I can say Big Stinky infinitely. Bro. I honestly, like, I would make you and Trent mods. That doesn't bother me. Thought of making you and Trent mods seems pretty, like, I'm pretty okay with that. It's probably just 1 here if I had to guess, but I don't know. There's always a chance it's not, and it scares me. Oh, no. So here's a real question. Do I give Beast Within and Swing Big, and then... I'm sorry, do I give Blood Rush and this, and then throw the Pulping? Like, this is just the best play I can make. It's weird, because it feels so wrong to block with Blood Rush there. He said we love promotions. Absolutely. Who doesn't love promotions, right? But I think that throwing the pulping here is the best play we could make. And if I have to give up the last Blood Rush to be able to do that, then I think it's correct here. Block 2. Please no Oasis Respite. Now, Cusco just said good game in the chat. Okay. So we were actually able to close it out there. 10 turns and 12.1 value, like not a ton of value we're seeing there, but still not bad. All right, so we tie it up. Good game, Cusco. If you're still hanging out in the chat, man, good game. Was a close one. I thought you were gonna pull it back there on the turn when you had the crazy the new turn where you were like activated New's ability. New, we went second because we could not block at the beginning of the game. When blocked with BRB to win the game off a pulping from Arsenal. Blocked with BRB to stop a Leave No Witnesses. All right, cool. So 3-3 tonight. So, I mean, Kayo's doing pretty well. Like, I mean, 3-3 is not great, but I can't wait for Twitter to find out about chi weaving. Oh God, is that a thing? Are people weaving chi into their deck? God, I really hope that's a thing that does not become, like, I really hope that people aren't that scummy that becomes like a part of the metagame that I have to worry about people just actively cheating. Not Not drawing my first Leave No Witnesses until 40 cards into my deck was brutal. Yeah, your codexes seemed like pretty lackluster throughout the game. I do agree with that. So we're going to run AB1, Sash, and we're just going to try and run them down here. I don't think we want send packings. I'm curious to know what send packing could be otherwise. Yeah, your draw seemed a little weak at the beginning of the game for sure, Cusco. But yeah, good games, man. I've been tempted to fourth Death Touch into the deck just for good codex targets. I mean, I don't hate that. We probably want Predatory Assault here, right? Do I want Clash of Agilities and Mites? I don't think so. No, they have a lot of misses, right? Like, this is okay to run 66 into them. I think this is an okay game plan for us here. They open Carapace. I didn't know if they were going to open Husk or not. I want Vincent to be good, but I really don't want to play her. I want Vincent to be good, and I want to play Vincent. I think Vincent's really cool. I never got to play a lot of Runeblade because I don't like the Runeblade, you know, hands that can happen to you. But okay, play Runeblood Incantation, banish a card that gets one out of my hand. I mean, pretty good start from our opponent here, huh? Oh, wow. What a great start. Gonna watch back the game. I mean, yeah, like, I think watching back the game is like a good play for sure. And then we can just throw this and Arsenal the Blood Rush here. The fact that they're saying no block scares me a little bit, I won't lie. But I would like to set this up. And we'll probably just block with Runner, pitch one of the Agile windups, and then play Blood Rush, discarding the Beast Within. Or we'll see if they throw the Widespread Annihilation at me. They do not. All right, well, we don't care about this, and our hand's cracked, so we're just going to say no blocks here. Actually, should I block with the Sash? Is that probably just correct? Okay, so that's where they're getting crazy value from. Yep. And then we're going to take all of this. I am going to block 5. They're going to make us banish a card from our... It is banish, right? Banish is a card from their hand. Yeah. Should have just thrown Roughshod there. Yes, actually, last turn that would have just been better because we had used Wild Ride to discard a card. That would have 100% just been better. So we banished the Agile Windup. The red one or the yellow one just to clarify. But yes, absolutely, Justin. I should have just thrown the Roughshod there. It had just been 2 more points. Like, again, small things like that are like very obvious when I watch people play, but when I'm playing myself, it's like those things that I really need to like start honing in on and focusing on to make sure that I'm making the correct plays all the time. I mean, I think we're just going to do it, right? We're just going to crack the Sash and just try to kind of go ham here. Now, admittedly, Sash did enable this turn, because if we had used our last 2 resources to play this would be our hand, and we would have nothing floating, which means we would not be able to go claw into agility. So it actually, Sash has now blocked for 2 and enabled an extra 6 points at the end of our turn, which is very solid. I know some KO lists were on Censor for a while. Dude, I would love for Censor to be in this deck. Justin, have you been playing Censor in this deck? Please tell me you have. Please tell me you have. I love playing Censor. More than anybody knows. Censor is like one of my favorite cards that I don't get to play. I have 3 of them just sitting in a binder. I should probably buy foils because they're not being played right now. And I like that card a lot. My opponent takes 5 and goes to 17. We're going to throw Clash of Agility. So our Blood Rush was a 1 for 6 here, and we were able to throw an extra 6 points at the end of the turn because of Sash. So a lot of value here. I haven't tested it yet. Could be a consideration to look at, though. I might look at cutting Send Packings and playing that card, honestly. I might look at trying that in my list to see how I like it. Envelop in darkness. Okay. This is just an instant, so like me using this doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not going to block anything. We just have another Blood Rush. This is for 7. I guess we'll just block here to like keep life total up. I haven't used the gloves at all this game, which is kind of weird. I think that's probably not correct, but I think my hands have just been hyper aggro here, right? Like just super hyper like go get them. What is it, the word that what's the phrase that that Fino kind of coined in the space? Was it Unga Bunga? Is that the thing? Carlo Opal was on it because his local scene has lots of Katsu, and Sensor can shut down Katsu. So actually, being able to like use Katsu and Zen are probably like good enough to shut down, right? So this is 6 go again, and then we get to throw Bear Fangs for hopefully 10 here. Now our opponent still has all of their equipment, so there's a lot of block they have left. Run Apex in the Vin. Blocks and mites give you the best chance. You don't think it's like important to have Null Rune of some variety though? Like not having any Null Rune seems pretty fast and loose. Like again, I'm not saying you're wrong, Wally, but like walk me through that, because I mean that feels a little weird, right? We're gonna have to hope that we get lucky with the Bear Fangs hit here. Just in all honesty, that's really where we're at. We're gonna hope we get lucky, and we did. So now this is for 10, and we get to Arsenal the Reckless Swing. I am fast and loose. Drew, you are a loose cannon, brother. Loose cannon. Gonna change your name from Drew Bolton McBroham to Drew Loose Cannon McBroham. Gonna make that your name in the Discord. Take 4, go down to 4, and Arsenal the Reckless Swing. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of arsenaling this right here, but I'm very thankful that we did not discard this card, so that's good. That is very good for us. How many rune chants at this? 8? And this is for 6? I'm just going to say no blocks, and we're just going to play the Reckless Swing here. Hitting the Wild Ride kind of sucks. Was definitely hoping for something a little better there, but... Definitely hoping for something a little better there. I am so fracking tired, man. Why are you so tired, buddy? Been a long week, man? Six go again into Claw for 3 here. From the Vin point of view, I have a spicy red line list. I'm going to force damage through anyways. You having 3 extra life and 2+ attacks gives you a little more room. Most of the time you can't afford to pitch AB. Okay, I mean that's fair. You can talk me into that. Like you don't have to sell me too hard on that. That makes a lot of sense. My opponent could go to 1 if they wanted and like block with the Carapace and the Creepers here, because I mean they're not getting value out of Creepers, right? Now we're at 6 and we have 3 points of equipment block left here, which is really nice. And then we're also probably going to have a blue that I feel comfortable using AB for here. I mean, I guess the 2 extra points that I would have gotten from Bonebreaker this game would have been like straight value here. So that's kind of to like Wally's point of the game. And the difference between 1 and 2 for my opponent is irrelevant, so... Maybe we should have cut Cast Bones in this matchup. This seems pretty mid. Pretty mid. Not a big fan of that. We could actually block Cast Bones, Flesh Bag, and Scabs here, and then on our turn attack with the Claw, discard Mighty Windup to give it go again, make 2 mites, and then play Roughshod for an 8-point turn here. I wanted a Samurai Runeblade from Miss, but we got Stinky Thirst Traps instead. Oh, I mean, I think a lot of people were, I don't know, like, it would have been cool to have I wanted an ice ninja. That's what I wanted. I wanted an ice ninja. Like, cards that play offensive ice cards, I think would be cool. Hey, Mohammed, what's up, buddy? How are you? It has been a long time, man. I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. You been doing okay? Okay, I'm waiting to make sure they were there. So take 3 rune chants here, which I don't like to do. I mean, I think we're just supposed to pitch the roughshod, right? And then I don't really want to take any damage here, so I'm going to block Cast Bones. I could take 3 and go to 3, and then throw Smash Instinct and hope that their turn is not that great because they'll be left with 2 cards in hand, and one of them they'll be forced to keep, and I can use this for another turn. Also don't want to die to something randomly like the... let's block Scabs. We'll take 2. Like, we don't have an arsenal to lose, so I don't really care. Ice Plate Quest Kodachis would be insane. That's exactly why I want it. I want to play Icequake in a Ninja. 100%. That's why I want it. Just swap back over from the Card Guy stream on Victor. How's he doing, Michael? How's Victor looking? All right, guys, we may have to run to the bathroom real quick. I mean, those big hydrates are running through me. Yeah, Mohammed, I've been good. I'm glad to hear you've been doing well. I want the Swarming Gloomveil Runeblade so bad. Swarming Gloomveil is awesome. That sounds toxic AF. You talking about Ice Ninja? All right, I'm going to tell my opponent we're going to be right back. I'm sorry. I got to use a bathroom. Okay. Whew. You could also cast Bones here. We could cast Bones here. Really? I was gone that whole time? I mean, we're going to wait just a second. Like, I'm pretty sure we're winning this game regardless, but I was kind of worried my opponent was going to claim victory against me. They get about another, like, 5 to 7 seconds here before we just claim victory and keep rolling with our knight. Try to be patient and understanding with some people, but, you know, it is what it is. All right. And I'm pretty sure we were going to win that game anyway, because we were just going to throw the Smash Instinct, force 2 cards from their hand, and then we're at 4, and they have 2 cards, and pretty much, like, they have to have, like, a Widespread Ruin and a blue. So they had hands that they could have played, but I don't think anything that was going to be, like, backbreaking for us. Hey, Donzai, what's up, dude? Yeah, we are testing KO for Nationals, hopefully in a positive fashion. I gotta change something here on the thing. Anytime you type in the word win, I have conditional formatting set up, so it's like it changes a lot of the stuff. Played against Vinet. We went first. No, we went second. So we went second and got the win. Opponent timed out, but we were winning on life. and was forcing cards every turn. So I'm gonna mark that one down as a win. I mean, I feel like we were gonna win that game. I feel pretty confidently about that one. All right, let's see. We probably got time for one more before we call it a night for the evening. Get wrecked, nerd. Lol. Do you guys have a good pre-release? Dude, I had an awesome pre-release, man. I opened the Fabled. I opened a Marvel that I ended up selling, and then we had, and I opened 4 Majestics, and I ended up playing 2 of them in my deck. It was really cool. So let's see, Kasai. I was like, I imagine this is a Tunic matchup if I had to guess. And then we cut Send Packings, cut Beatdowns, cut Predatory Assaults, and run everything else. Okay. I'm down for this. Seems like a pretty decent sideboard plan here. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the tracker while we're sitting here talking. So Kayo against Kasai. We are going first, and we'll see what happens. I would like to try to establish a Might token, so maybe I'm just supposed to throw Bear Fangs. I think throwing Bear Fangs is probably just correct here. Forces 3 cards out of their hand or 2 defense reactions. We're trading 2 cards for at least 2, probably 3, or 2 and some life here. Make them giga broken. They really need to buff Warriors. I do not think Warriors need any buff right now, to be honest. But to each their own, I suppose. So they take 1, and we trade 2 cards for 2 cards, and we'll Arsenal the CNC. Hot streak for 5, huh? So if I block the hot streak, we can just block block like this. Blade Runner. I mean, it already had Go Again, but Blade Runner, yeah. Says the man who plays Victor and KO. Warriors need a buff. Warriors just got a whole set. Like, literally, Warriors just got an entire set. You cannot convince me that Warriors need a buff. No world you convince me that Warriors need a buff right now. Also, this is, like, not a great matchup. This is a hard matchup, I think, for KO. Because, like, we just want to throw 7 at them. I mean, I'm probably supposed to keep the Command and Conquer, throw Claw for 4, make an Agility and a Might. But I think that throwing the Command and Conquer is just okay here. I am surprised they came off of an Arsenal, considering that I gave them Go Again from the hot streak. I don't know that that was correct. By that logic, buff Guardian? I mean, hey. Every time they get some decent support, LSS turns around and gives another Illusionist that is impossible for us to deal with. Guardians need some love, am I right? We're not top of the meta. I mean, Robert gets it. Robert gets it. Let's buff Guardian. You guys have my attention if we're buffing Guardian, that's for sure. I'm all about that. But I mean, so the problem isn't that Warrior needs a buff. The problem is that, like, Illusionist needs to not be in, like, every single part of every single meta game, which it has been. I mean, it's been in every meta game since I've been playing. We had like we've had Dromai, OG Prism, New Prism, and now we have Enigma. I assume we're pitching a blue here. This is on hit. They get a... This is on hit. They get a copper and a gold. I think we're going to have to give it to them and block Clash of Might on the next one here. Prism LL'd and we got a second Prism. Chain LL'd and we got Vincent. The world is unjust. So I, like, actually do agree with that take. that when we went to Dustildon and we got new Prism, everyone got hosed who was like hoping for a chain. At least in my opinion. Like, I do not think that was a beneficial trade off at all. Like, was not a fan of that one at all. Now, this is Command and Conquer for 9, which I really like. We could also just pack hump for 9 and then throw the Command and Conquer, which I think is actually a little bit better because we take a card from their hand and we give them the option to try and block with something. So this is kind of cool. I think I see some of the mistakes I made after watching back of the game. Do you want to share those with me, Cusco, just for like a learning perspective from my side? I've waited for Enigma for a long time. Wally, I don't think anybody, like, bro, respectfully, I don't think anybody feels bad that you've been waiting for an Illusionist, because Illusionist has kept so many classes in the game down for so long that absolutely no one feels like, you know what? Illusionist hasn't had it good enough in a while. Nobody feels that way. Nobody feels that way. Even Illusionist players know that Illusionist is just stupid. James has gone on record saying Chain is never coming back, by the way. Yeah, no, I imagine that like Chain and all that kind of stuff will I don't think Chain or anything like that will ever come back. I do wholeheartedly agree with that. Like, and if James has said that, then like it's just like really driving that point home, because Chain was stupid beyond belief. Like, just bananas. Absolutely bananas broken. Let me play toxic control decks. Oh, you think he meant at that power level? I mean, that's fair. Just sat down after washing dishes and making dinner, listening to the stream. Dude, Pyro, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out tonight, brother. Hope you had a good dinner. It sounds like washing dishes. Sounds like you guys probably had something good. What would Warriors need? Ooh, okay, so that's a good question. Let's follow up our whole conversation. What do Warriors need if we want them to like have like if they need a buff, what is it? Ooh. Hang on. What's the best thing I can do here? Is it E-Strike go again into Roughshod? I mean, Claw into Riled Up for 8 Arsenal E-Strike's probably the best thing we're doing here, right? That's just probably the best thing we're doing here. Unpreventable damage for starters? Okay, so 2 people said unpreventable damage, and then Robert said a talent. So, I mean, to be fair, like, I think that if you make an attack action or an attack reaction that actually says, like, this dagger's damage is unpreventable, or like, your next attack gets +3 and the damage is unpreventable, I actually think that's a very fair line of text. Ooh, roast chicken and garlic rice. That sounds good. I can tell I'm hungry. Like, I ate earlier, but I can just tell I'm hungry. Got dinner in the oven. Still got 20 minutes. It'll be ready. Nice. No one has ever seen me and Brad in the same room. I mean, that's true. Like, technically no one has ever seen you guys in the same room. So you guys could also both incidentally be Batman for the same reason. So just saying, we don't rule anything out around here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, so guys, you guys will get a kick out of this. On a complete side note, while we're having our warrior conversation, I am, after the weekend after Nationals, I'm playing in a Magic event for the first time in like, I don't know, a year. How many classes have that? Also, that's only for this Illusionist. No, yeah, so the unpreventable damage really only helps you with Ward, which it appears is the new direction that they want to be going. So it could be like a more relevant line of text going forward. I think I'm going to get Fleshback here. I don't know if this is correct, but I definitely want to. I think I just want to give it here. I don't really want to block with anything else. So We're just going to try to go like Wild Ride, like Claw E-Strike or something, which I don't even know if that's possible based off of this without Tunic, but... You're uninvited from the stream? Bro. Robert's out here, like, rescinding invitations. Wild. I think my pick with Bonds earlier in the game was wrong. I think I chose wrong on my Sacred Art, and attacking with the wrong dagger at the end of the game, getting another card was wrong choices for me. Okay, so I was like, I don't entirely know what your hand looked like, but I mean, that's fair. Like, I can, like, just off the top of my head, I think I can see the points that you're making and, like, what you're talking about there. But I'm looking forward to my boy Max Nitro throwing up some big results with Supercell. Supercell seems like a cool card. I actually opened one. My opponent wants to enable the chat. I personally want a Big Axe Warrior, more aggro than Decimator Dory. I'm down for that. Two from Fury and one from Dice. 2 and 2 is 4. No. Oh. You miss out on the +1. You got the +3 from your second saber swing because it was the second dagger attack. I see what my opponent's confusion is. So my opponent thinks that this should have been for 7. But the way Slice and Dice is worded, they actually did it backwards. And they missed out on the +1 from Slice and Dice because of it, which is really interesting. Kind of wish Tunic was up this turn. So this is 7, go again. That's another good point. Warriors could use 1 or 2 decent disruption pieces. I think they don't give Warrior disruption pieces, and honestly, because they play the best, like, fair value game of any class in the game. Like, they play a fair game where they're, like, getting a lot of value out of, like, playing a fair, slower game, and so that's why they don't give them disruption pieces, because I don't think that you want to give classes that play, like, a really fair, long game and get maximize their points every turn. I don't think you want to give classes like that I don't think you want to give classes like that any disruption pieces. I don't know. It could be crazy. Guardian's disruption pieces cost 7. So there's an exception to that rule, Robert, I think. This is weird. I don't know how I feel about any of this. We could roll. So let's think about this. If I roll and I hit a 4 or better, I get to go E-Strike, draw a card, putting this on the bottom. And then if I hit a blue, I get to go Claw into Bear Fangs. They gave Root a ton of armors, which they don't need. I do agree with that. I think I'm going to be greedy and roll here. We're behind, and I think I need to roll to, like, maybe have a chance here. So let's hope we hit a blue off the top. A blue lets us go... Oh, wow. Never mind, that's actually cracked. That's like a better draw than what I had in my head for some reason. You'll love to see it. I need there to be 1 miss, and I need it to be a Blood Rush Bellows, but it's a Cast Bones. That's not good. Oh, man, this hand's rough. This hand is rough. I mean, we can say no blocks here, right? We're getting dangerously low if we say no blocks because we take 2 to go to 10. And then I was like, yeah, you can't do that. And then I take 4 to go to 6, which is scary, but... And in the swing could put me down to 3. Being at 6 is pretty scary against this class. So I can go runner for 12 and then throw the Bear Fangs. We could have also have pitched Tunic and the Cast Bones to throw Pulping to try and find a blue. But I think cycling the Agilities is probably my best bet here, right? It's insane. I hate Brute. Scowling is insane. Apex is insane. Sash is insane. Scabs is insane for a clash. For a class that was previously meant to be a high roll class. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Brute is very good and has gotten a lot of good pieces over the last, like, 6 months or whatever, like to a year. But I definitely think that Brute has a lot of, like, I don't know. Brute has a lot of no blocks in their deck. They have a lot of, like, awkward downfalls to their deck. Like, sometimes I think can, like, put them in awkward situations. Well, the Riled Up is definitely not what I wanted to hit. I would have rather have had that in my hand and then, like, hit a Cast Bones or the, like, Pulping there. But, and let's just be honest, like, Scowling's really not that crazy, right? Like, Scowling is good, but Scowling is not insane. Like, Scowling is not as broken as everyone thinks it is. You just have to play around it. And I'm a firm believer of that card is not as broken as it seems. I wholeheartedly stand by that statement. I think I probably also feel that way because I play a lot of heroes that play around it well. Oh, we love to see that. I mean, if this is a Dominite, we're in a bad spot here. Playing around it is a little easier. Yeah, so it is a little easier for some than others. I do agree with that. I do agree that it is easier for some more than it is others. I think that a lot of the decks I play probably tend to play around it pretty well. Is probably like kind of where like my head is going now after the conversation, that like the decks I like to play around Scowling Fleshbag better than others. Because I think a lot of people hated Scowling Fleshbag at first, and now I think the meta's kind of adapted to it. Like, people have learned to play around it. People have, like, made different deck building decisions to, like, play around it and make better choices. So, I don't know. This is probably the worst card we could have drawn. Like, without having another card in hand, this is really bad. If you only have one attack per turn, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I guess, like, my biggest concern for most of RTN and ProQuest season was when I was playing Victor. It was like, oh, okay, like, how can I pitch, like, can I pitch a red and a blue here to play CNC and play the Pummel and play around the Fleshbag here? There was a lot of that for me, so that's probably a lot of where my mind state comes from there, is that it's easy to play around it when you're playing Guardian, probably. Play a better deck. Aggro Blaze 2024. I'm just going to get that engraved, and I'm just going to put that up behind me. Is this Shunt? No, Respite? You got to wait till Tunic resolves, buddy. So you got to let Tunic resolve first, and now you can play it. So you go back to 4. Make worse plays. It's easier to play around. I mean, I don't think that Fleshbag is a problem. Like, honestly, like, I mean, and I know that I really don't think Fleshbag is a problem. And I know that I'm playing Brute right now, so obviously my opinion is swayed a little bit, but I really don't think it's a big issue. Please don't have an in the swing. So this is probably our turn to try and end the game here. So this is 7 go again, and then we get to have 6 from the riled up after this. So hopefully we can put them down to 2. I think we might have pitched both the reckless swings pretty early, so they're not coming around for a while. We might have played one earlier. No, I pitched them. I think I pitched them both this game. I can't remember. The games are running together. Playing into obvious flesh bag is the worst play. I mean, yeah, like I agree, Pyro. Like I do think that there is a lot of... I think there's a lot of times when people make decisions and it's just wrong, because I think you need to be playing your deck and building things in a way that play around certain cards. And, you know, like there are a lot of times that like you can't play around flesh bag, but I don't know. Like, I don't think the card is that inherently broken. Like, I think the card on average blocks 5, which is an above rate piece of equipment, but there's nothing wrong with above rate equipment, in my opinion. We need that as part of the game. Oh, they're pitching to get rid of their cards. I love to see that. Sash may be a problem. Sash is the biggest issue, in my opinion. Like, I agree. Sash is like a real problem. My opponent just said sad in the chat after having to block with everything. So I'm hoping that we're at a point in the game now where as long as they don't have 2 more Stillblade shunts, we can probably just try to close the game out from here. It doesn't necessarily fix Warrior, but it gives it more play into the Illusionist matchup, which is Warrior's biggest problem, I think. So... Sash was such an unneeded piece of equipment. I do wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that Sash is more of a problem than Flesh Bag. I think so. The problem that, like, in my opinion, a lot of people have. My opponent just said GG. The problem that a lot of people have, in my opinion, is when when you pair Sash and Flesh Bag together, they're just like, ha 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 ha, like they're insane. But like one individually, like before Sash, we were playing around Flesh Bag just fine. At least I was. Like, I don't know, but my opponent said GG, but I definitely don't think this is GG. Like, there's a world I could lose this game. I mean, I guess it's not very likely that I lose this game, but it is possible technically. Because the Prism Angels have Ward? Yeah, because they have Ward, it does help into both matchups. Don't get me wrong, the Illusionist matchup is still bad, but at least it makes it not unwinnable. I mean, yeah, like I do agree with that. I don't know why my opponent just... Okay, take it on the chin. I was like, bro, what? Now, this should end the game. Pretty sure this just ends the game right here. Brute Armor just add flat health to their life total than actually giving them the block value on equipment. I think that just giving them the flat, like, life would be wrong, because that's... You want the equipment. Like, so if that was the case, every hero would just start at 50, right? And we wouldn't have equipment. Like, it would... Like, all of the equipment would just be 0 block, and it would just have effects. And I don't like that. I don't think that's a good... I do not think that is a positive change for the game. There are too many relevant on-hit effects that are important. Like, I don't know. I think that's a negative change for the game as a whole, honestly, Drew. But I don't know. Like, that's something I'd have to see incorporated over, like, the course of a long time to, like, know how I'd feel about it truly. We got a win. Looked rough for a minute. Opponent had Oasis, and it cost them their whole hand late. Gave me all the tempo I needed. All right. So we went 5-3 tonight, which I think is a pretty, like, it's a pretty reasonable, you know, record. Just give me 4 Ragamuffin hat effects? Absolutely not. Nope. nope, we're not doing that, Martin. Just talking about playing warrior. Okay, I missed some of the conversation there, but so overall, I think KO is a solid pick for nationals. We made a solid change to the list tonight. The other change that I'm going to make is I'm going to cut one of the Clash of Mights, and I'm going to add in the third Clash of Agility, because I think agility is just overall better, and it serves a better purpose in that slot. Justin had pointed that out to me earlier in the stream, and I think that's a very good change to make moving forward. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out tonight. If you're new to the channel and you're hanging out for the first time, the third Talishar tournament is right around the corner. It's going to be on June 8th. If you're interested in playing in a free tournament that's held on Talishar that I stream that we can all hang out in, I get to know everybody a little bit better. I think it's a very fun time. If you're interested in playing anything like that, you can hit !Discord in the chat. Find the link to the Discord, and there's a section called Talishar Tourney where you can find all the details about how to sign up, or you can just come and hang out if you want. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. Excuse me. If you guys are coming to Nationals, come see me. Let's hang out at Nationals. I want to hang out. I want to meet you guys. There will be a stream on Saturday. It'll be I'll be opening. Carly and I will be opening our case that I bought, and then we'll be streaming some Fortnite after that. So if you want to come by and hang out, I'd love to see you on Saturday. And don't forget, Sunday, Second Cycle Gaming, hanging out with them. Second Cycle Fab. I think it's called Second Cycle Fab. Anyway, if you're not already following their channel, you should. Robert and Chris are great. They make really good content. Also, I'm about to head out, so I think Ed Knight's live right now. You guys should go check out the card, guys. He's a cool guy. Like Ed, very good Guardian player. I'm probably going to check that out myself after this is all over. So thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.